Right. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay. Let me do that now. Right. Good evening, everyone. This is Wildman's Helper here. I think I'm alone here, and this is a very special podcast for you tonight. Friday Night with Wild. It's going to be open forum. That means you can join my Discord server and have a chat about your top 8 predictions for the autumn season for both EU and Asia servers, and team by team analysis, especially for EU server, which I have spent a tremendous amount of time in getting this the data from the website and from all of the streams provided by Mnet85, Fujit, RIP, and also every good name is taken. So currently I am the only one in this in the voice channel. So hop over and join me so that I won't be so alone talking nonsense, something like that. So the link we providing here on the chat. Join this Discord server. The link is there, and voice channel is called Oh No. Yeah, just go over there. Meanwhile, I'll be back very soon, as I'm going to actually put some of the links to some servers for advertisements. So okay, just kind of I'll be silent for 1 minute or two, so just bear with me about that. Meanwhile, you can join my voice channel now and say hi to me. Okay, that would be really good. Right. So hopefully we will get more people to join. Still, I am the only one at the moment. That's not good. Let's hope more people. The only one in the voice channel, I presume. I'm really going to put it in this channel. So, meanwhile you're waiting, if hello. Okay, I've been always saying Jorge Jesus. It should be, I mean, it should be a Portuguese name. Should be called Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus. Okay, it's like a tongue twister. I think this is the right pronunciation. Right. Except I have nothing. Great. Just come and join this voice channel. Again, the link is on the chat, and the channel name is just right below that link. Yeah, he's a very famous. He's a famous fan manager. Yeah, but he's Portuguese instead of Spanish. If it's Spanish, then yeah, Jorge Jesus, that will be the right pronunciation. But he's Portuguese, so it's going to be different. Right. So far, I'm the only one still. So let me just begin first. Tonight, we're going to talk about the top 8 predictions, and we are going to be in an open forum, so anyone can join the conversation. If the stream is still live, then you can join this voice channel whenever you want. Okay, so well, we need more people to join because I'm the only one. I'm very lonely. 2 servers we're going to be analyzing, because these 2 servers are the servers that I follow during tournaments. So let's get a head start and start with something very quickly. Let me remove this. Right, so let me show you the leaderboard for both servers at the moment. If I haven't pressed any wrong button on my Python, then it should come out as follows. Legion currently with 31,646 cups in the first place. Endgame in the second place with 31,164 cups. Raid in the third place, 30,792 cups. Immortals with 30,148 cups. Win in the 5th place with 29,394 cups. LOCA in the 6th place with 29,184 cups. APA in the 7th place with 27,948 cups, and SOULS with in the 8th place with 27,722 cups. Let's say APA in the 8th, it should be 7th. Vale in the 9th place with 27,519 cups, and Mercy in the 10th place with 26,598 cups. If you're too shy to talk aloud in the voice channel, do make use of the YouTube chat to kind of tell me your predictions and tell me your opinions about different teams. It still works brilliantly fine for me. For the Asia server, we have RN with 30,798 cups, ID with in the 2nd place with 30,132 cups, GV with in the 3rd place with 29,586 cups. Feast in the 4th place with 28,685 cups. XLV in the 5th place with 27,988 cups. Low in the 6th place with 26,828 cups. Cats in the 7th place with 26,224 cups, and KDS in the 8th place with 24,596 cups. So here is the leaderboard for both servers respectively. Let's update my top 8 gets. Although this gets got updated back on Sunday, I haven't updated since yesterday though, because I've updated this guess every Sunday though. So APA, I think APA will make it to the top 8 in the end, but we still have the Sunday to watch, so I'm not making any changes yet. But I'll kind of go through team by team, and I'll state what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. And I think the EU server, I think EU server is the server that I follow much more closely, so I have a better idea on what each team is like. However, for the Asia server, this is going to be my prediction. If there is none of these teams here are going to be disqualified because of rule violations, that top 8 will be Feast, GV, RN, Team ID, Low, Cats, HLV, and KDS. Oh, someone asked me which logo I like the most. I have no preference, to be honest with you, but I think I prefer the previous Endgame logo. Legion, I think they are similar, but I don't know. But like the previous one is more artistic. It's something that I like better for that. Veil, I think I like this one better because it's more simplistic and it's more embellic, I think. Immortals, I prefer the previous one definitely. I really like that Phoenix. That I think it's like the for example, the football teams that you have an animal. Some of the football clubs revolve around an animal, and Immortals are like revolving around that Phoenix. So I really miss that Phoenix, and without Phoenix, Immortals just look a bit different. Yeah, and then you have LOCA, which centers around the bear. Raid around the Scout. I don't know. SOULS around the Green Reaper, which is really interesting, and Win around another bear, I say, isn't it? I don't know. EU teams love bears, so. And nothing like cats revolving around cats off. Obviously, what I mean, if it's dogs, then it's going to be very weird, right? and you're seeing KDS no logo. I can't contact anyone. Neither do a lot of Asia server players. They can't contact anyone in KDS. Maybe I can't even ask them for the logo. Sorry. So I'm just going to hand draw a logo. It's beautiful, isn't it? Okay. So let's see if there are more people joining. I'm still the only one. Oh. I would appreciate more people joining. That would be really nice. From that chat. Because I want to go through for Asia server first, because I don't think if someone here is actually staying up to watch this. probably will go into. Let's see. God. No, too muscly. I think more focus should be on that Spartan helmet. Sorry, which I prefer better because I think you don't need to like show the entire body. I would say, but I mean, still pretty good. Nonetheless. Right, so let's see if more people join. Let's see if someone's going to join a voice. That would be really good. Alright, so there we go. What is my opinion about game crashes? I personally think that game crashes, Wargaming kept saying it's not on their side. My opinion is that it's probably not connectivity issues, because it hasn't happened to like everyone. So personally, I think there are some issues with graphics. So my opinion is that if you got a crash, something like that, akin to that, change your graphic settings. Maybe that will fix something, because crashes usually aren't related to internet unless you got very high ping. Suddenly, then maybe that's a connectivity issue. But then it doesn't crash. The game doesn't crash. You need to like get out of the game and then just get in again. So I think it's a graphic issue. What do I think will happen in the final stage? Blitzcup preliminaries, I think it will be single round robin and best of 7. So there will be like 2 games per day, and there are 7 games in total. And if you haven't noticed already, there are some clans with new logos. So we have like the clan avatar. Is it? Yeah. Is it the yeah, we have in the news that Wargaming asked the top 12 to send them data, which I assume is clan logo, during between the 14th and the 17th of September, and that Wargaming is going to draw up the logo and potentially will include it in clan avatars, which I think will be obtained by watching the streamers commentating for long enough time. So I think you earn the logo, you kind of get the clan avatar in this way. I'm not sure if it's going to be implemented in the game, which I definitely hope so, because if you released it in terms of in the form of clan avatar, then why would you put it in the game as a clan logo there, which won't make sense at all if you just release it as a clan avatar and you don't put it in the clan logo. So I suppose all the top 12 clans will be able to have their clan logo in the game. Yeah. So otherwise it doesn't make sense at all. Why would you like not allowing the clans to have their own clan logo in the game when you allow them to have the logos in the clan avatar? So right, yeah, it doesn't make sense if you just don't allow the clan logo but you allow the clan avatar. I mean, these kind of graphics don't make a lot of don't take up a lot of space in the game, like just only a few kilobytes. Like, it's not a lot, right? I mean, the game is maybe in giga or maybe even terabytes, so clan logo is not going to change anything to the game performance totally. And I'm still the only one. If you are watching this stream and if you want to discuss with me together about hello Unilox, if you want to discuss with me together about your top 8 predictions and so on, please join my voice channel on my server. I will once again give you the link of the Discord server, and I will specify the chat, the channel, voice channel I am. I'm in. So you just hop onto this voice channel and then you just can discuss with me. So let's get into the main topic. Like, it's already 15 minutes of me talking gibberish. So Asia server, what are you going to expect from Asia server? These are the top 8 clients. I think the top 8 is pretty set and set in stone. I don't think that we will see a lot of changes though. I mean, if you come back to the leaderboard, look at the right side. These are the top 8 clans, and the 8th position, KDS, pulls away a really good distance away from the 9th, by more than 1,000 cups. Hello everyone. I'm still the only one in this voice channel, so I can't see you. Right, so personally, you'll be all asking which of these teams will be the most dangerous in dropping out. Personally, I don't think KDS is, because oh, hello Juicy. Oh, why do you meet? Right, hello, Object 3. So, I don't think KDS, obviously, if they are found to be guilty of account sharing or something like that, yes, they will be removed. But then if they are not, if they got away with that, I mean, if they are not found guilty of that, they are definitely top 8. I mean, if you can see the past results, KDS, I think they only lost, I think around 3. I haven't actually made that percentage, so I apologize for that. KDS, let's go. Only entered on the second day. That's why they don't have a lot of cups here. But like KDS, you have 2-0 against Cats, 2-0 against 0-2 against GB. The only clan they never won is GB actually. They lost to GB 0-2, and the second time lost to GB 1-2 if I remember. Yeah, and then you have KDS 2-0 against Feast, KDS 2-1 against Cats, and the list goes on. KDS 2-0 against Feast again, and then they lost to Cats 1-2, one ID 2-0, and one Feast again 2-1, RN 2-0, KDS 2-1 against Cats, 2-0 HLV, 2-0 Low, 2-1, no, that's 2-1 RN, and where else? Yes. Oh, ID won KDS 2-1 as well. So KDS at the end only lost 4 games when you compare to like 16 or something like that. And I haven't done officially the percentage, but currently they have the highest percentage in the match-to-match, head-to-head in the top 8. Like KDS head-to-head win rate in the top 8 is the highest amongst all the clans in this top 8. So personally, I don't think if they are not found guilty of let's say account sharing, they are a strong contender for top 4, and with that win rate being the highest among the top 8 head-to-head, they could even challenge for the top spot if they're not found guilty of, obviously. So that leaves us to like HLV, Low, and Cats. Cats, I think they don't have a really strong win rate to boast, but then they have made some really good matches. They weren't really that consistent, but they're like getting there. So I don't think Cat's going to be like the most dangerous out of the all. But I would say Low will be the most dangerous, because Low, the top 8 head-to-head win rate is the lowest among the top 8. They only won once, and that's only against our N, I think. If I could find out if it's not, no, ID 2-1. That's the only win they got throughout all the matchups. All of them have been losses or something like that, although some of them have gone through tiebreaker, but most of the games that Low play against the top 8 teams, they lost. So that leads us to Low. They have like the 3rd highest win rate in the seeding though. So like Low, I think, would be the most dangerous in falling out of top 8 if they only have 3 more match days in. However, even though like Low has like the lowest win rate in against the top 8 teams, that is not to say like Boon and Calm, these two teams, it's like in similar situation with Low at the moment, but they have much lower win rate. That's why they're not in the top 8 anyhow. I think these two teams, Boon and Calm, will have the highest chance of getting into top 8. But the next match day would be the most crucial one, because if they do not get into the next match day, then yes, they are pretty much out of this. Because the 2 match days left, and KDS doing so well in the top 8, you're just going to be doing like finishing second or first every time in the final stage. And if you don't advance the final stage on Saturday, then Boon and Calm, you can just say goodbye, because you probably won't have enough cups to catch up unless KDS got disqualified, obviously. So what I say, so between Boon and Calm, which two teams do I think have the highest chances? It's hard to say. Boon, the second day actually is an anomaly for the Asia server. Like a lot of clans outside top 8 actually got through to the final stage. But I say the Sundays are very important for the teams outside of top 8, because that gives them a chance to challenge a very high position in the final stage. Calm has a good win rate, if I remember correctly. Boon, I think they lost to TCS1 on the last Sunday, and that's not promising at all. They managed to finish second on the second day, but that's the only qualification they had throughout the entire previous skill tournaments. But they showed that they can be really strong. That performance in the finals against GV, they could have won against GV. But they just need to be consistent. They just need to be on that high level. And that high level, I think it's very top 8 worthy. So Boon, I say, if they do really well, then I think they could get into top 8. But then they have to show to us that they are that good in the next 3 match days, obviously, especially the Wednesdays, where we haven't seen the Asia server having 12 teams in the final stage on Wednesday. So Boon, I think it's the clan that you want to watch, have a look on. Calm, I would say they tried very close, but they haven't proved to us that they could beat some of the top 8 clans. I think if I remember correctly, I think they didn't beat any one of the top 8 clans except GB, if I remember correctly. So I mean, Juicy might have a better idea than me. I don't know, but I mean, just say something if you don't mind. But yes, I would say Calm. Oh, hello. That was a hello. That you for real. So I say Calm. I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of their matches though, so I can't comment whether they have a better chance than Boon in the top 8, but we saw Boon, we saw how good they could be, but they just need to be that good for consistently. But I would say yes, top 8 will be set in stone for Asia. So I'm not going to see. I don't think I'm going to see any changes at all, apart from KDS investigation of Wargaming. Whether Wargaming is going to make this investigation to KDS in the first place between the previous skill tournaments and the Blitzkrieg preliminaries, that's what we're going to see. But but if KDS is not found to be guilty at all, yes, top 8 I think is definitely sealed. I mean, I don't see a reason why they can't make it. So I mean, with all the reasons I've stated above. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Juicy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I was just waiting for your stream.
Right, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you heard me like babbling for like 10 minutes or talking about Asia server predictions.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you agree with most of my predictions, or yeah, or do you have any special insights that you might have?
I actually agree with you most of the things you said. Like as you said, like Low, they're only in the top because of their win rate seeding. Like they haven't been putting any show so far. Like
No.
they're just go to
Oh,
final and then they lose in the first stage.
yeah, that's
And
true.
talking about Boone,
Yeah,
I guess they still had chances, but they have like the problem is their win rate isn't the best.
isn't the best,
So
yeah. But they are running out of
when they
time, to be honest.
yeah, so like whenever it's the quarterfinals in the first the group stage, they're always facing teams like RN,
Oh yeah,
sometimes like
yeah. Especially on
ID and
Wednesday.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wednesdays like only two groups. I mean, they have the
yeah,
Sundays to fight for, but then the last Sunday lost against TCS 112, which is not looking good for them at all.
yeah. I mean TCS has actually improved very well. They beat King in
Yeah,
the like third, so
yeah, I
they
think so.
King was not able to play the final stage.
Yeah,
But I guess top 8 is pretty much settled unless Calm or Boone can like just keep on winning,
yeah.
which is
Unless we saw a
really
miracle. Really
yeah,
not going to see that. Also, unless KDS is going to be removed from the top 8 because of account sharing. If Wargaming
yeah,
prove them that's the case, then yes, we're going to. I think we're going to see Calm or. I don't think NIC. I don't know about how NIC was playing, but it's also not something that I really checked on. Actually, if you have a better idea of
yeah.
how NIC was performing, then do say it here.
We haven't really faced NIC
Right.
really a lot of times, but as from people that I've heard, like it's pretty decent team. Like sometimes they put a really good show, but they're really inconsistent.
Right. Right.
So that's the case. I mean,
I
if they
see. I
really
see.
try hard, I would check. Like,
Right. Right. I would say so. But yeah, I mean, like, I haven't like, so I mean, I have to say sorry to everyone who, I mean, from the Asia server, like, staying up very late I mean, talk through team
yeah.
by team. Like, I haven't prepared a lot because I like spent the entire yesterday preparing the EU.
Hmm.
So sorry. I mean, I can't really analyze like fees. I mean, you can like kind of scheme them. Like, I think feast. I
Yeah.
was saying before the autumn season, they are the juggernauts of Asia server. Apparently, it doesn't seem to
Hmm.
be the case. Like, yeah, I think what they are strong, really strong is their experience and kind. I think their
Hmm.
rotations, when they plan it well, they could work really well. But I think the biggest
Yeah.
weakness, I think personally, from my point of view, especially when you look at the games against ID on Wednesday,
Yeah.
it's probably the medium. So like it's uh, like I don't know. Personally, found it a bit too restrained. Maybe they are under a lot of
Mm-hmm.
command by the feast commander, I suppose, something like that. So
Maddox, you mean?
Mad Dogs, I don't know. Like
So,
I could see them very restrained. Like they
no,
don't
no.
have a lot of
The thing,
freedom.
I mean, you should know back in the
Thing with
day in 2018, Feast had like 7 mediums. They used to run that many mediums if they wanted to go really serious. And the
Right.
heavy meta is just not suiting them, and Maddox is not able to adapt to it.
Yeah,
Where other,
yeah, I think Maddox in the IS was like, I think it's a mismatch for him. Like I saw him like making
exactly.
a lot of like, is
hmm.
it? I would even go far and say mistakes or something like that. Like he feels very uncomfortable in that IS4.
I mean,
He's
he's
always
actually
taking.
Juicy, go for it.
yeah, juicy. Go for
I
it.
wanted to say like he always takes the positions that are like really risky and
Really
they're like
risky,
in
yeah,
front of everyone. Whereas
yeah,
like the middle of crossfire,
yeah.
because if
That's
you have
true.
seen the games,
Yeah, that's
he's
true. That's true.
always the one in front and getting focused first.
That's true. That's
So
true.
Oh wait, juicy. You're Indian.
yeah, I am.
Oof.
Okay,
You know
so
Hindi?
also like okay,
Wow.
we are not talk about my nationality, we're talk about the team. So let's keep it that way.
I'm just kidding.
And also the thing is like Feast when they're using mediums and when they go against teams like ID, who like um ID they are basically dependent on the rush stress. Like they would take 7 heavies
ID. You're talking
when they
about ID
go.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
ID. I think they have kind of reinvented their way in the tournaments. Now, what I see, like on some, they took a lot of heavies. Well, I think the general strategy
yeah.
they're going to take now is that they're going to kind of go very aggressive with the rushing heavies and then put a mouse to cap B. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what they did
Mm,
on both Alpenstadt and Oasis Palms. And I'm not sure if they're going to
Yeah,
do the same for other matches as well. So then they kind of
ooh.
reinvented that way.
I mean, it's like their tradition. It's an ID tradition. Like ID is known for
Right.
their pushes, and like they, it's not like they don't try to like go for the complex strats like holding, camping, and all that. But they tried, but it didn't really work out for them. So they just switched back to pushes and the heavy map.
Right. Yeah.
But you gotta remember that this is a completely new team for them. Actually, it's only like 1 year old. You have to understand that because it's P10. P10 has a lot of rerolls, and all of those rerolls are playing for ID's main team. Actually,
Right.
their main account is like stranded in other servers, and it's not other servers, other clans and stuff like that. So it's actually a very new team. But I still think this team is much stronger than the old team they had.
Really.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I mean, this team at least knows how to rotate. The other team you have to know against Feast, like, they were beating Feast 4-1, and when it came to the grand finals, they absolutely got slaughtered.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. Because what they would do is ID would rush, and they would get into a pocket, and then
Right. I
every
see. I see.
area would be there. There would be a crossfire in every area.
Right.
I mean, the best clan now in Asia, honestly, is
Right.
KDS. I have to agree.
I have to
because
agree.
they're-
Yeah. I know they.
I
they-
mean, I
Hi.
mean, their crossfire. The crossfire is amazing.
Not just the crossfire, it's also the kind of like the rotation as well. Like, when like one side's like getting like getting in under pressure, then the other side they do something. They're doing something. They're not letting that to be under a lot of pressure. Like they do something to kind of release some of the pressure from that side. That's why I see a lot from KDS. It's like they try to get multiple angles so that it actually transfers the pressure back to the other team. And that's why I see really good from KDS. And yeah, personally, if not because if not for them account sharing potentially, then yes, I think they are very strong.
But the thing is that their players are way more skilled than most of Asian players. I'm talking about Feast. Because if you
Not-
see, no. If you see some of their stats,
Right.
some of them have 100 battles,
Right.
and some of them have like 1900 battles in
Right.
IS4 and 1900 average damage. And then when you check their top tank, they recently played tank, they'll have 70 battles and 3.6, 3.8k average damage
Yeah.
in their whatever E50M. And that just is a way that Wargaming was finding that these people were account sharing, because suddenly these people went from like good players in the Blitz starts to super unicums in just one day.
Right.
Just
yeah.
went up.
Yeah.
So
Juicy.
I mean,
what,
I
okay. I mean,
Yeah,
let you
go
finish
on.
first. Let you finish first.
okay.
Alright.
No. I mean, Juicy, go on then.
Yeah,
I
I mean
was
he can
saying,
go.
like it's just not like they have the best players. What they have is they use the spots that no other team uses, like
Not
really special spots.
I
Like,
think all the
the
good
fo-
teams have known these positions already. It's just KDS
Yeah.
kind of utilizing them to their best advantage, I would say.
Like
Makes
they will use
sense.
the spots to like farm the enemy team
Yeah.
early game
Yeah.
with the tanks like 405 autoloaders and something.
Right.
And then they're really quick to pick up the how to like on that day against Alphenstadt against us in the finals.
Right.
They quickly figured out that our IS4 he was alone there, like he had no
Isolated eyeline, right?
support. So yeah, like they just quickly picked up the thing and then they just rushed it and they won.
Right.
Other teams takes time, like they're like okay looking at the map, taking spots and all that, but they're just like really quick, and that's why they're winning, because they have the skills, they have the callers, they have the strats, they have everything.
Right.
I mean, they have the ICT main caller. They do have that guy who was ICT. It's the fact, and they're not giving any information. And I tried as hard as possible to get.
I can't even get the logo. So you're
No,
seeing
no.
that you're seeing that KDS head roll there on the stream. That's a really nice
They
logo,
never
isn't it?
reply. They never reply.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
They
you,
never
you
reply.
can contact one guy, but he won't give you any information. That one guy's name is Gushong PR. He's in the Rote Nova server.
Yeah, I asked him for a logo, but he said he isn't there. He isn't part of the KDS.
He's lying. He's a big liar.
Okay,
Y-
but
do you,
but it doesn't matter though because I only want the clan logo, nothing else.
Yeah.
oh, are you gonna follow them?
Which one? KDS? No, I don't think so.
Because they don't accept any followers. They just, I
Oh,
mean,
I mean,
they work for.
I DS will. I mean, I asked them which they politely refused. Not to. I mean, not being rude, of course, but like, yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
some of the Asian clans, they don't want to be followed. But then unless it's you know, like there's
I mean,
it's
Aaron is the
absolute.
one who accepts everyone. Aaron is a kind one.
Yeah.
HOV again, like HOV leader. Oh my god, what a retarded leader they have.
Let's not
Also, a
discuss about
match.
that, okay? Let's continue analyzing the top 8. Let's actually go through GB. Switch
Mhm.
topic.
Ooh,
Oh, GB. I'm actually pleasantly surprised about GB. I mean, however, they're not very consistent though. But then when they are very good,
Yeah.
they can put some really interesting performances. I haven't streamed that a lot, but then they are not
Mhm.
what people think like they only play well in tier 8. No, they play well in tier 10 as well. I haven't actually seen a lot of their games back then. I haven't actually watched Fujin's. I'm sorry, Fujin, if you're watching that, I'm sorry. I haven't watched a lot of games back then, but I assume that GB has played really well this autumn season so far.
but 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 there is a reason to it because GV players they had their player from Feast, a caller from Feast, come back to GV.
Right.
There's a guy named Professor. His name
Oh
used
yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
Vote BG now.
Oh, I
So
see. I
he
see.
came back to
Lead
so
GB.
it improved, and then these guys are actually neighbors.
Oh.
They don't VC. They are
Oh
not.
my
They are
gosh.
neighbors.
Neighbors, that's
They're
even better. I mean, I mean, back in FF, if you, I mean, if you know, if you actually kind of
yes.
research about like a random soldier, what?
Velosa told me. Velosa told me you used to VC. Not. I mean, you don't used to VC. You used to meet up and play.
Yeah, I mean, like FF is like my clan is like we kind of like are in the same
Hmm.
secondary school, and then that's why the
And
clan's
there's
there.
a last and that there's a last factor that makes GB now a good
Yeah.
clan. GB used to be a clan. They used to really rig. I'm no offense to King, they're a good clan, but in 2019, King didn't deserve to be in the top 8. I'm sorry to say this, but they were rigged by GB because
Okay.
Nub. They used to. What they did was that they gave away game against King
Right.
to basically make them into top 8 to prevent CW, a Feast second team, not
Right.
to enter the top 8.
Oh. Okay.
And the Pixelway just streamed this. No offense to King, please don't take any offense. I'm just saying
Right.
it.
But they didn't got. But then GV did they? I mean, Nup. I think they didn't. Did they got
No,
punished? Did they get punished?
no, no, because King didn't report. That's what Pixelway was telling. King didn't report because King was scared that they will lose their top 8 spot.
Oh no. I mean, if no, if I mean, if King won, and if it's not their problem if they won, but then if GV intentionally like lose that match, then it should be no. I
Yeah,
mean, Nup. Then it should be Nup. That should be not in top 8, not King. I mean, King is they are innocent, so why would they why would they be afraid of that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what Pixelway was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you notice, there were 4 people: Hades, like leader, and there were 3 other guys who didn't want the
Alright.
Feast second team. The rest of the 3 guys didn't know what was going on. What
Right.
they would do is basically block all of them and put them
Ah.
into the spawn corner.
I
They'll
see.
push
I
them
see.
their teammates, and they're like, "What the
Yeah.
hell is going on?"
Yeah, I see. Yeah, but then let's not talk too much about that because let's again we are kind of like making predictions. So also, what do you think
Hmm.
about GV Juicy?
Well, GB, they're 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 good, but they're really inconsistent. Like we have played them,
Yeah.
but the problem with their team is, I would say, let's go with the problem first, and then we're gonna go with like
Yeah.
what they have actually better.
Sure.
They're medium players,
Right.
like they're mobility players. They are not the best,
Mhm.
because we were playing them. I guess it was on Fujit's stream,
Right.
and the guys are there like hitting the walls,
Right.
and then like hitting the rocks, and they're like just dying. So I guess if they like change their medium players to like what they actually prefer to play, instead of because they have T22s and they really want to use them, but the players, I guess, they are not really
Used to
able to
it.
put those tanks into good use.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
I guess that is their thing. If they like fix it, they fix their mobility, and I guess their heavy tank players are fine. They have decent stats and everything. They
Right,
are
yeah,
good.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, they have beaten KDS somehow. I am
2 times.
surprised. Yeah,
Two
I
times.
was like,
It's the only
wow.
clan that haven't lost to KDS actually, I think. If I
Yeah,
remember correctly. Yeah, so
yeah.
I'm surprised.
I mean, Feast got absolutely fucked by KDF twice.
Language. Right,
Oh, sorry.
let's move on to RN. So RN, I've been following
Uh-huh.
them for like 5 match days. I'll be following them for the next 3 as well. Personally,
Hmm.
I think one day they are really strong. They reminded me of Raid in the EU server, but yeah, once again, consistency. I think a lot of Asian clans there they don't have they don't do really well in that respect. Like also consistency is the issue. But then the reason why they lost against KDS while I was streaming is probably because they have on the second match one player AFK for most of the match. But I remember
Yep.
they have done really well. I think the strongest thing is their mediums. Like they just go around in some they kind
Mhm.
of run around the map really nicely, and then they kind of get the information they need, and also they kind of get some really good crossfire formation positions to kind of farm them off and so on. So like their mediums and lines are very hard working during the games, and
Mm.
that gave them a really huge edge. And that is because that actually what makes the difference between kind of like thrashing Team ID on Oasis Palms, you know, the Team ID's Oasis Palms, North Spawn, or I thought it's a very bad strat, but in the end it's because, I mean, Feast lost heavily to ID's that North strat on Oasis Palms, RN thrashed them. And I think the main reason is because of RN's how good they were with the mediums and so on. So I think they could like keep on doing that, but sometimes their heavies might be kind of the weakness here. Maybe skill wise, they sometimes bounce and miss quite some shells though. So that's why my opinion for
Mhm.
RN. Yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think?
No, definitely. I mean, RN, I guess after KDS, if I put a team
Yeah.
the table,
Yeah.
it will be RN,
Yeah.
according to how well they have performed.
True.
And they have the ability to beat all the top 8 teams. Like,
That's
it's
true.
not like it's just like they're having a bad day.
Right.
Sometimes they just
Yeah.
lose some game.
Yeah. They just do
Sometimes
some
they're
games
not
sometimes.
best
Yeah.
map.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
So that's the thing, but they have the ability
They
to
have
beat
the
everyone.
ability. Yeah, they have the ability. Not Gilbert. What do you think? Oh, he's not here. Oof. He's going to sleep.
He, yep,
Re.
his mom probably told him to go to bed.
Right. Right. Let's. I mean, I've promised the user that I'm going to talk in like. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, now it's going to be in around 2 minutes or so. So let's speed up with. Okay, Gigabyte's back, I think. So you're not asked by your mom to sleep. So what do you think about RN?
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
personally, RN. Well, their rotation is not that great. They get a
Ooh.
lot of spotted. Usually is what I've seen because when
Interesting.
their heavies get spotted easily when they rotate. And the thing is that RN sometimes makes weird moves. They push into the where the most tanks are there and absolutely get fucked. As you saw that day against Feast, the finals, their calls were very weird. Each of them
Oh, that
blocked,
was
and
like
sometimes
the second day. No, it's the first day, isn't it? The first day.
yeah, I mean that you see those rotations. Like I'm being honest here, I was not expecting a close game, but we had just a close game. They just won by 20 points
Right.
against us
Right.
because they had that one tank alive who was a 2-shot. We had 2 guns alive, 2 ice force. He had
Right.
1 ice force alive,
Yeah.
and they just got me. I was in the weakest lane. He just got me out.
Right.
He just won on 20 camp points.
Oof.
So
Yeah. I mean,
so it's very.
as I said, I think I think the rotations are fine. I mean, personally, I don't see like I didn't like say on the stream like, what are you doing? Why are you rotating here? But more like they've bounced and missed quite some shows, which is worrying. Which, if you want to be the best team in the Asia server, you do not want to do too much of that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, another thing is RN struggles in brawls. What I've
Oh
seen,
yeah,
they
yeah.
struggle.
They struggle. They
They
struggle.
absolutely struggle.
Yeah.
Like we got them into one of the when you're training, we got them into brawl. They absolutely struggle in the focus fire.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, that's true. No, the focus fire, I think they are fine, but then, yeah, the skill-wise, I think they are not technical, they're not, like, mechanically skilled as a lot of these clans. Like, what, what's actually put them into the first in the leaderboard is actually their, I think it's their kind of strategy and rotation, personally. Yeah, and
Yeah.
also their mediums. Their mediums are very strong. I mean, like one of the best medium plays I've seen on the Asia server, to be honest with you.
But their medium
Yeah.
players are good, but their heavies are. I don't want to say.
Yeah, I mean
They
the
really
heavy.
struggle with.
Sorry, Juicy, go on, Juicy.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, Juicy,
I
go.
mean,
go on.
Juicy go.
So like I was saying, the main tank that they really struggle to kill is a mouse. Like
Mouse,
if you see
yeah.
them,
Yeah, that's true.
Like-
They bounce a lot. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
if you like put a mouse in front of two of them,
Yeah.
they kind of gonna take like more time than other teams to kill him. Because
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true,
know
that's true.
why, but they really struggle with that.
Yeah, that's what we saw actually RN against JV. Like they took a really long time to
Yeah.
kill those two mouses. It almost threw the game away for them. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
again versus Boom.
Boon,
You saw that.
Boon. I forgot
I mean-
how it went, but like yeah, RN like they have some.
I mean, they got smacked actually.
yeah, they got.
But what
smacked.
happened? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's kind of like wrap things up as soon as possible. Let's go with Low.
Yep.
I don't know what happened to Low. Like Low, as I was streaming them, they don't look like top 8 worthy. Like they make some elementary mistakes,
Okay,
and their
okay.
coordination is just what?
Okay. Can I tell you honestly? I'm
Right.
gonna be absolutely. We beat them easily. We're beating them. They got an ammo rank into me, 1500 ammo rank into my
Right.
T22, and
Right.
this won because of that. But they were absolutely losing. We won them 4-0. 2 matches we won them actually,
Right,
and they got an ammo rank before
Right.
I could kill a tank, and they
Right.
won it.
right,
Ta-da.
Yeah.
One we messed up, but one they absolutely.
right.
But we're evolving. We're just a small clan yet. We're not
That's true.
gonna make it to that.
I know, but like Low against KDS. I mean that game. I was streaming that game. It was what is Low doing? I mean, you saw that Juicy probably as well.
Yeah.
It was
It
like
was
what?
horrible.
It was oh my.
Like what I think about Low is like the players. They have the
Very strong.
individual skills. Like
Yeah.
they really
Really
they
good.
really do.
Yeah.
But the problem with them is their strats and their calling, the rotations. That's just what's keeping them.
Yeah,
From-
I think inherently that rotation isn't the best, isn't the worst though. Like they have some really good ideas in rotation. I saw that, but then it didn't implement well. It didn't get implemented well. Like they have some good ideas, but they didn't coordinate with that. Like yes,
I mean,
they could like
I mean-
finish off KDS in that situation. I mean, if they committed to that, yes, they could win against KDS, but they didn't, and their coordination is just just like a new team to me, if I may say.
Yeah.
Like if you saw them in 2019, they were really good. Like they were really competitive, and now they're just gone down because even in the spring season, they only made it to the challenger barely.
The 101 AD, no, 101 AD SG is pretty good. Back in the summer season. If you're talking about Low, I don't know, maybe spring.
I mean,
Yeah,
low,
Low used
like
to be really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
yeah, they
I
used.
guess they got rusty, and then they
I
just
mean-
when they came back, they just
I mean,
have.
if you look at their players, some of them are rerolls. They're like very good players. I'm not telling they don't have, but some of them are rusty. And another thing was that let me tell you what they do. They, as far as what I've seen, when we played them on Mine Ruins,
Right.
they had when we rushed our tank to B, we
Yeah.
knew that they would bait it up. They sent all of their tanks. Like they sent a T57, a weird lineup. Okay, one
Oh, hello,
T57
Fidget.
with an ice
Oh,
full.
no, I'm not muted.
Yeah, you're not muted yet,
Hello,
but I have to.
Fidget.
You're very
Hello.
quiet. I have to kind of increase your volume.
Very
Yeah,
quiet.
so-
A lot of people would like that.
Yeah. Now you're better. I need to increase you more. Yeah. So let's kick up. Like continue.
Yeah, so what I was noticing was that we actually pushed. They had the two mouses overlooking B. We had
Right.
another flank going through the middle of the B and A area, the ramp, that
Right.
area.
Right.
We pushed. I held two of their mouses out for like 1 minute. They were even penning me and doing nothing. We
Right.
actually pushed their mouses out and we won on basically hit points.
Right. Right.
Because then we had one isolated IS4 and B who was
Right.
getting shot by the Wickers, and they had a T22.
Right.
But the problem was that we could easily kill their mouses, and they had IS4 and a Hori, and then we rushed back and we absolutely cleared their mediums out. So it was like an easy win for us.
Yeah, I just don't know. No, I think personally think they have the
Win rate.
yeah
Win
they,
rate.
they kind of got elevated, levitated by win rate, and I think they have the best chance of actually getting knocked out. But then they still a pretty safe top 8. It's pretty much set in stone, unless Boone or Calm is going to do a lot of amazing stuff in the next 3 match days, and the next match day is very important for them because if they don't qualify to the final stage, they're out. Pretty much.
But what is happening to Boone? I thought it was going to be a really strong team. Like they have
I
all
don't
of the
know.
one of the.
They don't have
problem
really good win rate, as Juicy said previously.
Yeah.
They have to play real well, and that loss against TCS one didn't help them either. It's like the easiest chance to actually get into the top.
I mean,
to the-
TCS is not a bad clan. They sometimes do really good stuff. But
Right.
I'm just very wondering what happened to Boone, because I mean
I guess
they
another reason with Boone is because the players, they have actually pretty new players, like from different clans.
Oh yeah,
So
a lot of
H
different clans.
HOV E7
E7
X-E7
and Feast.
Feast,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
think one more is there.
So
I
maybe
think
there's
so.
like a little bit less coordination or something. That also might be a reason.
Do you
But
know
the
who the
players-
callers are? Do you know any idea who the
I
callers are?
think
Is
it's
it-
Alpha.
Yeah.
I think it's Alpha.
Like one
Is
color
it-
I'm sure about is the Nuke 8 Power guy. He's from NA, as I remember.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
He just joined. He was in King, then he left King and joined Feast. Wait,
Yeah,
so
I guess
Nat
he's the
is
caller.
Nat is not calling, is he?
No, Nat is just there to play.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Nat used to be E7 caller, but now he's like, no.
All right. Let's
Gonna
speed
play.
up. Sorry. I mean, I was like
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of trying to speed up. Cats. Haven't seen a lot of cats, but like cats. I don't know. I mean, I've only streamed them like against our end, so they inherently my impression is that they are not. I mean, they are not like the upper half or the upper echelon. That I don't know. Maybe I think Fujit might have a better idea because he's been following Feast. Maybe Cats played against Feast for a lot more. I don't know. But
I mean, cats are slightly stronger than Feast in this scenario, as what I'm
Well, mic's
seeing.
not working. Oh, it is.
Good. Well, have you streamed a lot of cats though? Because I
I
personally.
haven't. I've seen a few. I've streamed a few.
Yeah.
Juicy, you guys, pull your finger out. You can get there. You should be there.
Right.
Yeah,
Is the
but the
honest
thing is,
answer.
we keep meeting KDS in quarterfinals.
Oh.
So
Yeah, you do. But
Oh,
you
that's
should
why.
be able to turn. You should be able to turn them over. To be
Yeah.
fair,
yeah, I mean, we always
Cat-
go to
cats-
like a tiebreaker. So, and
I
like,
mean, cats have looked very good this season. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, they
Yeah,
have.
they have,
But
they have.
They keep falling in the final third. It's like in football. They're good in they're good in the first part. It's just in
Yeah.
that final third, they're just not seeing the deal for some reason.
Right.
yeah, we just, yeah.
Right.
So
So.
if you see our finals, they're just
Okay.
like, what are these guys doing?
I mean, yeah, I mean, these guys have very good, like, what they do is they send, I mean, the battle against KDS on Middleburg, what an amazing battle. Like, KDS was so spread out, and
Right.
these guys just rushed in, and it was like game over for them.
Right.
So what I've seen from Cats is
Yeah.
they actually send maybe one tank,
Right.
and then what they do is they bait him over there, and then
Right.
a whole another flank of full ice force come from the other side and absolutely rape the fuck out of you.
Language.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, let's actually move on to HLV. I don't know,
Hmm.
something's wrong with HLV. Like in the last few days, like HLV against KES. What's going on there? And then I don't know. I mean, HLV been playing against Feast for a lot of time, so Fujit will have a much better
Guys,
idea.
I mean,
HLV, another one of those teams that they're very strong, but they're very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. Yes.
but how did they lose to Nick? How did they lose to NIC? That clan is absolutely nothing to
And
me.
this is what I'm saying. I mean,
What?
I've watched a ton of HLV games, and when they're all banging their heads together, they
Yeah.
play beautiful blitz,
Right.
and they've got very good focus and very good focus fire.
Yeah.
But again, they seem to sort of then drop off and become inconsistent, which is a shame because
No,
HLV,
yeah.
just like Cats and everybody else, they can challenge these big boys on the Asian server
Right.
quite easily.
Yeah.
Quite easily.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Juicy, do you have any comments about HLV?
Actually, I guess they kind of rely, like what they do is like they would go hold a flank, and when they see an opportunity, they see a like isolated tank, they would just push him. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's a bait, like they will just push him. And like on the city maps, what they did against was they took 4 mouses and 3
Right.
E100s on Dynasty's Pearl,
Right.
and like I was like, and they kind of like, I don't know what they did, and they still lost it. Like they had 2 caps, but they
Oh,
still
right.
lost it somehow.
Somehow.
Like imagine.
One thing I do find with the Asian gameplay over, say, the EU gameplay, and EU is a little bit different, and everybody says that they're a little bit
Hmm.
more passive is the word, but they're not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
But one thing I do find with Asian gameplay, and it's no different in the Clan Wars, sometimes it is overly aggressive. Sometimes,
Sometimes.
which puts teams into problems that they can't get out of.
Mhm.
And I'll give you an example, and we'll go back to HLV. So it was HLV on Winter
Mhm.
Malinovka versus Feast,
Mhm.
and they played a beautiful strat. They sent 2 IS4s down straight through the middle,
Right.
caught Feast completely off guard, and it was Sleeping Lion in the T22.
Right.
Yeah,
Caught
yeah.
him completely off guard. Feast had to rotate, and they didn't rotate particularly well, and HLV annihilated them. I then watched HLV in another game a couple of days later, and they tried a similar aggressive strat, not on Melanovka, but got absolutely mullered. And this is the thing, sometimes they overextend. And I find this a lot with some of the Asian teams, that there is an overextension sometimes, which okay, sometimes it's the call to sacrifice a tank or to
Yeah.
sacrifice a player to drag teams out.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not. And I do see it a lot. And I don't know if it's, and I see it in normal gameplay as well, not just in Clan Wars. And some of the top players on Asia, and I've tuned with them, and they're very aggressive. You are very aggressive players, guys.
Right. Oof.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so to wrap it up for the Asia server, and then we'll move on to the EU, which is like a bigger topic to go for. Like I'll ask Fujit. What do you think about your final top 8 guess?
I'd hate to say, because there's still a controversy over one of those teams.
Yes, but let's assume that KDS is cleared of the allegations. Then what will be your top 8?
And I think that it's very difficult for the teams below the top 8 now to try and break through unless a major blip. And when I say a major blip, with only what, three streams to go, 3 rounds to go,
3 rounds to go, 3 more match days to go. Yes.
yeah, that's unless if none of the teams make it into the final rounds.
Next one
Then,
on
yeah,
Sunday. On
there's a
Sunday
problem.
there's a problem. Like Sunday is going to be very important for both Boone and Calm. And if two of them don't get into the final stage for this Sunday, yes, goodbye.
Yeah, but on the same hand, they also need one of the top 8 already not to get in either.
Yeah.
And I don't think with only 3 rounds to go, I don't think that. I think you're seeing the top 8.
Yeah,
To be
I
honest
think
with
so.
you.
I've already seen the top 8 for the Asia. Notwithstanding the KDS
notwithstanding
situation.
the controversy.
Yes, notwithstanding. Like, yeah. Right, so thank you all for the Asia server people who are staying up for very late. I mean, I think it's 2 Hong Kong time at the time of speaking, so very late there. So won't drag it too long. But if you want to keep on staying and overhearing our discussion on EU server, do by all means stay. Let's move on to EU server. Okay, because I prepared a lot of things for EU server, and team by team analysis is going to take a really long time. So what we are going to start now is top 8 guess. So here is my top 8 guess I've made on Sunday, back on Sunday. And these 8 clans are Legion, LOCA, Raid, Endgame, Veil, Soulsprint, and Immortals. I think basically this is going to change. I think it will depend on Veil and Search. Like, these 2 clans would be like, either one of them would get out of my top 8 and APA will come in. Hello, Kerfuffles. Which I think, other 6, I think they are pretty safe in the top 8, personally. Right.
Yeah.
Oof.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so
I think.
what do you think?
I think Vale. Vale got some work to do. To be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of work.
I say that with the greatest of respect to Vale. As everybody should know, I love Vale. I think they're brilliant, and I support them all the way. But they've got a lot of work to do, and they've had a couple of blips in the last 2 rounds, which haven't helped them, which has allowed APA to come in. Now, are they going to be able to dislodge them? This is the big question. I think Souls are in danger, but going into the final part of this part of the tour, I think Souls may dig deep. I mean, they've got some very experienced players in there. So you never know with Souls. But Vale really need to. I mean, Souls need to up their game as well if they want to stay in the top 8.
Right.
But the aim is, are APA going to blip? Now they're inconsistent. APA.
Yes.
I must admit they are inconsistent.
Yeah.
They're up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go into it in your stream, but as you quite rightly point out, seeding has a part to play here.
Yes, of course. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, even though if they don't put the second 100% account, which I think actually put the seeding worse in my opinion. But like, let's not delve into that, shall we? So like, even if they don't put another 100% account there, they are still going to be benefited by the seeding. Still,
they are, and the thing is, they'll need to cross fingers, toes, and anything else they can cross.
Yeah.
To hope to get a better seeding tomorrow, going into Sunday.
Yeah.
And they cannot afford not to go into Sunday.
Yes.
If they don't get into Sunday, it's game over for them.
It's game over for honestly. Also, what I think Vale should do is the group stage performance. They are very important. Because during the final stage, yes, round of 16 or quarterfinals at the best. Going beyond quarterfinals would be a bonus. But like the group stage, you have like more than 1,000 of cup difference between the first and the fourth. But then for quarterfinals and round of 16, like 300, barely 300. So obviously, a really strong group stage finish would be absolutely mandatory for Vale, and also APA and Source as well. That's so to speak as well.
Yeah, I mean, and this is where APA blipped recently in one of the group stages. They came up against IMM0R, and IMM0R knocked them out. So, which meant they didn't get into the final round, which really hurt them.
Oh no, that's Vale against Immortals, not APA against Immortals. Yeah.
No, and then on Wednesday of this week, Vale got through to the final round.
They even finished first.
But then they get into round, I think it was 16, and they come up against Legion, who turn them over.
Yeah.
So Vale do struggle. Sorry, they don't struggle. Vale do have the seeding against them slightly.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
And it does hurt them. But
yeah.
they've got to put that to one side, and they've got to aim for the top spot. And the thing is, I mean, I know a lot of the Vale guys. I know Vermelia, I know
Jory,
I know Jory, I know Elysium. These are all really good players, and I mean, Elysium has got a shed load of experience.
Yeah, true.
And they are a top team.
True.
Let's not be honest. They're not top 4, but they're certainly in my book a top 8 team.
Yeah, I think you will see it with the stats very soon as we go through team by team on the EU server. That they have some impressive stats, so you will go to that later. But
hopefully, as a Bushka
Wild
J
one.
joined them as well. Bushka J's also joined them. It used to be in Elim. And so it's not that they haven't got the players, because they have.
Right. Yeah.
They just need to convert it now, and they can't take their eye off the ball. They really can't.
Right. Yeah. Gigabyte, what were you trying to tell me? What were you trying to?
Yeah. What do you think about Mercy? Because
Mercy.
We'll shocked.
We'll talk about that later. Like we'll go through that one by one, and then we'll talk about Mercy definitely. Right. So, okay. So let's actually go. Let's start with Legion. Okay. So on the stream. They actually have the highest top 10 head-to-head matches win rate. They have like 67.6%. So like they have the highest here. Like if you put like one of the top 10 clans to face against Legion, chances are they will win like 2 in 1. Yeah, 2 in 3. I mean, they will 1, 2 in 3. So very impressive stat indeed. They're past.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm being honest with you,
Yeah.
they're the winners of the autumn season. It's gonna. They are gonna win on their gameplay at the moment.
Right.
I'll guarantee it.
No, Fujin, I disagree because Endgame does put a good fight in. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm just saying that Endgame do have a chance. Like they're not bad.
You're talking about the final now.
Yeah.
That'd be the final. Endgame against Legion, I think.
I think maybe. We'll see.
I think that will be the final, and I'll tell you what.
What is happening to LOCA? Because
let's go back to Legion. Let's go back to Legion first.
Okay.
The reason I say that I think with Legion you're looking at the winner.
Yeah.
Is not to put anything against the other clans, because it's not.
They're just unbeatable.
They are. Well, I tell you what. When they're in the groove. They really are unstoppable. And don't take the last few games that you may have seen of Legion to think they're a bit nervous. They're just having fun. They don't need to play. They're secure. They're in the top 8. They're going into the Pro Tour. They can just chill out now. That's what they're doing. They're just chilling out.
Right.
And you'll see that with them. So a lot of people have been looking at, but they didn't do too well here. They're not interested now. They're in the top 8. Right. They've secured their spot, and they're just having fun now. And unless they all have a complete massive brain fart at the start of the pro season,
or maybe they cut the feta cheese. Maybe we don't know.
the only.
Oh, coward! Hello, coward.
The only thing I think that's going to derail Legion is their ping issues.
Ping issue, yeah. True though, like Thomas with his crash. I can't imagine.
Object 3, Thomas. They're all getting it. I mean, but aside
whoopsie.
From that, whoopsie as well. Exactly. I mean, and that's what tends to derail Legion. But you're looking at an incredibly strong team. And as
they're always consistent with everything. Like in every single tournament, they're always like playing. When they have a bad day, it's always like it's on a high level already, even if they play bad. And their low standard being that good is the key to victory, because they can always, like, if somebody actually carry in their team, they will probably have a over 80% win rate chance in the match. Like even if everybody's playing bad and then somebody's playing good, because they're good together. You don't need to do everything individually. They're
Absolutely.
They literally win by being a good team. And I mean, all the players have the experience needed. It's like there are no doubts about their individual skill and their knowledge and what to do.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true.
it's just just 10 shots and look at the enemy, and that's basically a free win for them then.
Right. Let me just continue talking about the stats of Legion for a moment. They're actually one of the teams. I think one of the two teams with higher than half of their wins coming from cat wins. So their percentage of cat wins, which if I didn't mess up with my calculation, is 54.5%. So that's quite a big percentage. Their average remaining HP is 3,860, which is not very high, but like it's still at the average though. Their most used tanks, E5 is like the most used tank for a lot of clans, but you do need to take note of the T22s, which they have used like 46 times at least, if I haven't messed up my calculation, of course. Then yeah, but
Whoopsie.
I mean, whoopsie.
Yeah, he plays the T22 only. It's like almost like that.
Yeah, right. So, I'm going to say something about Legion, because I think Legion is a very interesting clan. What I think they've been doing really well, and I think it's quite a big strong point. Back in the summer season, I said that Legion is the clan that only focuses on like the rotations, killing all the tanks. Caps are like a bit redundant for them. No, it's not the case for the autumn season. Actually, I'm pretty shocked when I have made out the stream stats, percentage of cap wins. They definitely play a lot more with cap strategies. So that also leaves them, because they've also been not working, like also been playing around with kind of like very aggressive strats and so on. The point I'm going to make is their versatility in the strats. They are very versatile. They can like suddenly go like full on rush. You saw it with Endgame and Vineyards. You saw it with Win finals on Naval Frontier. They can rush.
Oh my god.
They can just rush in and kill you all. But at the same time, you can just like sit back, wait until the cap pressure is against the enemies, and then they can win that. Like the facility of Legion's of Legion is just impeccable.
I mean, we saw that against Whale also. Whale actually lost the A cap so easily. They couldn't even decap it.
Yes.
And once they have the cap pressure on, and when Whale pushed in, they immediately kept C out and B out. So you always have the cap pressure on you. It's like, I don't know what, but I have to say that I've not seen the match where Legion has the cap pressure on.
Right.
Like they will get the cap pressure in the middle of the match rather than going into 800 points.
So we've been. Oh, sorry, let Fuji go on.
The thing you have to remember about Legion is they all bounce off each other. I mean, and if you watch their game style, and just go back and watch a few of their games, taking win in Legion on Naval Frontier, as you said there,
right?
Just watch the charge from Zerd in the IS4s, leading that charge. I mean, it was unbelievable. And their ability to read a map, to control a map, to isolate focus fire, and have so much awareness of the game is unbelievable. And this is why Legion are so dominant. They are. And you know, the teams have got to break that. They've got to break the fact that Legion are able to control the map.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult though, because Legion, they remind me of like a great boxer, like a counter-punching boxer. And that's what these teams need to be aware of. Like you said, Fuji, it's going to be hard for them, though, in my opinion, because a great counter-puncher, you know, that's when they're most dangerous, is when they're backed against the ropes. So it's almost like a bait kind of, but not really. It's just gameplay. Is that when the other teams think that they're dominating, either on map position, caps, or by pushing or whatever, just when the other teams think that they have the upper hand, that's when Legion pulls on their strongest, and that's when they're very difficult to beat.
Right.
And
Although
that's going to be a tough task.
Although then again, don't forget, autumn season Ascent Tour, which is what this really is, notwithstanding, forget that. Once these guys get into the Pros Tour, which is next, they are going to have teams that can do that. And Endgame can certainly do it. Raid can definitely do it. I mean, Raid are able to just turn a game on a penny.
Right.
From they can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Raid.
But again, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's when Legion is at their strongest. That's when they're most dangerous. Is when these teams
when Raid is at the most dangerous as well. And this is why the Pro Series will be interesting.
Correct. I
throw
agree.
into that mix. Throw into that mix. I know you're going to get to them, but I just want to throw it in there. Throw into that mix the non-conventional game style of win.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
I really love that. Oh my god. Well, I mean, we've been praising Legion a lot, but I do find some kind of like the shortcomings for Legion, and I think personally, personally, like, don't kind of bash me on that. Don't kind of like cancel me on that. But I think like the mechanical skills, is probably not one of the best in the Big Four. Like, you know, the Big Four: Legion, LOCA, Endgame, Raid.
Yeah,
personally,
Endgame
I mean, yeah, and we'll come to Endgame at the later. But like Legion, we saw sometimes they got a bit impatient in like trying to like picking out at the time where you would get focused by a team. Sometimes they make that kind of mistake, but also sometimes they made some bounces and misses. Potentially it's just because they're nervous, not because they're mechanically less skilled. But yeah, that's the kind of problem I'm seeing with Legion. I'm not sure if it's going to kind of like derail their chances, but that's something that I might want to bring about, though.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But as a unit...
Yeah, as a unit, they're very strong. Like,
they're very strong.
Very strong. Like, Focus Fire is good. I really like their Focus Fire and so on. Like, their Focus Fire is impeccable, as always.
Seriously, their ability to pick a tank, isolate it, and then destroy it is unbelievable.
Right. Before I move on to the next clan, do you guys have any other comments?
On what?
Legion.
Basically.
Or maybe my comment about the weakness of Legion.
I mean, I don't see any weakness to Legion.
It's hard to find, to be honest. Like what I'm saying is just kind of like very, very little.
What? I don't know the weakness of Legion, honestly. I just need really good analyzer to tell it to me.
No problem. So let's move on to Endgame. So here's the new logo, if you haven't seen already. Endgame, let's go to the top 10 head-to-head matches win rate. I think they have the second highest, if I remember correctly. They have 56.8%, if I didn't make the wrong calculation, and that's actually an accurate one. I double-checked, it's right. Past finish, they finished first 2 times in the final stage. If I tell you about the stream stats, their percentage of cap wins, I mean, a lot of us, including me, think that they play around with caps a lot, but no. Percentage of cap wins, 29.2% only. But then their average remaining hit points is much higher than Legion, with 4,075. And their most used tanks, again, the second highest used tank is the T22. 51 uses, which is actually the mostly used tank for the rest of the top 10, according to the streams. That's definitely. And of course, E5 is the top tank there, and IS4 29 uses. So, let's start with Fujin. What do you think about Endgame?
Endgame are very dangerous, and don't underestimate them.
No.
You'll see just like you'll see them notch it up to number 11 when they get into the Pro Tour, and they'll be a completely different clan. And you know, when the Lades all work together, they're unstoppable as well, and they really can. They can derail Legion massively.
They're massive, massively.
They're a very dangerous clan, and they've got some great strats. as well, and they've got some great awareness, and they've got fantastic players.
Yeah.
And underestimate them at your peril. You know, I mean, Nub said there he doesn't know what Legion's weakness is. I do, overconfidence, and that'd be their biggest weakness. They're
Legion.
overconfident,
I see.
and end game, like some of the other clans that are coming up, end game are very dangerous, and they can turn a game in an instant.
That's true. Gigabyte, what do you think about the deal for you first? Okay.
I was just gonna say that, you know, in this, a lot of it, there is some psychological aspect, and you know, especially when you see like 6 versus 7s or crashes or whatever, you know, map lineup.
Yep.
But like Fugit alluded to, Legion does have weaknesses, and just like any team, and I think in this case, in-game is Legion's weakness. It's that simple. They're there, you know.
I mean, we did see them when it happened. I think it was Hellas. When Endgame brought them into a brawl, they were kind of struggling. Legion was really struggling on the ball.
Well, not only that, but there's teams that are just not scared of Legion. In game, in my opinion, they don't think twice of Legion as an opponent. They're there. They're gonna do their thing, and like I said, you know, if Legion has a weakness, it's teams that aren't scared of them, and in game is there. They're not scared of Legion, in my opinion, at all.
Right.
Because you're gonna know that Legion's some of their players are actually from Endgame. You have to know that, because they played for 2019. They played for Endgame, like Whoopsie and the other guys. So they pretty much Endgame and Legion are equals, to be honest, but Legion has a kind of an upper hand when it comes to really on the tactics and the experience.
Right. Okay, Coward, go for it.
Oh, well, I have actually watched some replays actually when IMM0R faced Endgame.
Yeah.
And I gotta say that Endgame are really good from what I saw. I mean, it was only Normandy, and I think, no, I don't remember the second map. But they had quite good control. Like one of the battles, they played with 6 instead of 7, and they still against a team like IMM0R managed to have quite good control. And when I think about Endgame when they play, I think about them playing with one extra guy sometimes, because they're really flexible. Like they're really flexible, and they often manage to really get out what they want. Even though sometimes they might be too overconfident in meds or something, but honestly, Endgame are like the typical tricky guys to beat because they're like everywhere.
Right.
Not like Legion, who are like perfect in their way.
Yeah.
Endgame are like perfect in another way, and that way is like basically having the control.
Right.
So map control, my opinion. That's what Endgame
should
do.
Here we are on this Endgame. I think Endgame, personally, I think they are even better in Legion in quite a lot of ways, though. However, I think their strongest thing to put on the table, mechanical skills, definitely. You seldom see them like bouncing or missing shots. Like their shot effectiveness is impeccable, and that's what won them the games against Raid. If you saw it on Sunday, Endgame versus Raid. Like both teams like they have the same idea, they have the same strategy, but why did Endgame win? But why not Raid? It's because focus fire, and let's not forget about their formation. Like their formation very good. They know when to put it into a horizontal straight line. They like when to like shield each other, like keep on pushing. They've been doing really well, and when to like push away from the rushing flare tanks.
I mean, Wild One, they have the best players in the
that's true.
Orca, General, all of these guys are one of the best. Like they're top 10.
They're really good at So like endgame personal skills, like no question. I think they have the best in that. Strategies though, I personally think Legion is better in that. Strategies, I think Legion is better in that. And endgame, the strategy wise, I think they're still pretty strong. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think endgame strategies like they're not bad at all. Of course they're not bad. Otherwise they won't be here. Otherwise they would be like one of the clients that you're going to like kind of
Mercy.
make memes on.
Mercy.
Well, Mercy a lot of rerows. I don't know if it's the case, but like yeah. But well, endgame they still have really good strategies. But I think if I were to kind of point out one of their weaknesses, maybe I don't know. Focus Fire though. Focus Fire though, I don't think they are the best in that though. But like the allocation of Focus Fire, I think it's good. But like kind of like I don't know what I'm saying. But like I don't want to like pin up too much weaknesses of Endgame, because personally I think like Endgame, I think they have the best chance of getting first in the EU server. Like I can't really point out like one significant weakness of Endgame. Perhaps and also like they've invented a really good way. Like they aren't the best with, for example, strats outside of cap pressure. Like back in the summer tournaments, they've been doing really well with cap pressure strategies. Like they're the masters in that. But I haven't like, but at that time we haven't seen them. Like if they are not playing with cap pressure, like if they're going to play in the win way, let's say. But could they do it? Yes, in the autumn season we saw them. They could do it. But like, and that's why I think yeah.
I mean, talking weaknesses, Endgame are pretty much like Legion in that respect.
Right.
And their major weakness, I'll be honest, in my opinion, is overconfidence.
Yeah.
And I'll take you back a couple of to a spring season, I think it was.
Right.
I can't remember.
Okay.
When they were 3-0 up in the final on Raid.
Oh.
And lost.
Okay, was it okay? I mean, they did the same 4-1 in the Blitz Summer tournaments and lost 6-4 in the end. Are you talking about that?
Oh, it was that one. It was that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Endgame's biggest. That's their biggest weakness. Sometimes they get a little bit overconfident.
Not overconfident. I think maybe psychology in general. Because if you remember at that time, like Ray did 2 Emrex in consecutive. And on Mayan ruins, and that tilted them heavily. And so I think, I agree with you. Like the psychology, that could be the.
When
weakness.
I say overconfidence, I mean, for example, when they played Raid in that game, they got 3 up or 4 up, and then you watch them. They take their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
And that's when their overconfidence comes to bite them. Because they take their foot off the gas.
Right.
And it allows the other teams, and you're talking the likes of Raid here and Legion and stuff like that,
right.
to punish them. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And then what you then saw was Endgame struggling to get back because their confidence was overed, and then it was dented, and then they were playing hard to get it back.
Yeah.
This is the danger for these big teams.
That's true. And then you have Tilt, Assassin, and Endgame. I don't think they have a good track record in that, to be honest with you. I mean the Tilt issue. I think that's a really fair point, to be honest. And I hope they kind of made some amendments in that, because that could really hurt a lot if you don't. If you got hurt by Tilt by a lot, to a big extent, it's not going to work. And they have to be careful with that, to be honest. And
you have to appreciate. I mean, this is. I mean, forget the autumn ascents. We're talking the pro series. Once they get into the pro tour, they're a little. Regardless of how good they are, they're a little bit tenser. Yeah. Because there's a lot more. There's a lot more at stake here. So they're holding their iPads a little bit harder than what they would normally do.
Yeah,
sweating. They're focused. Exactly. There's a bit more tenseness in the game for them. And confidence is a massive thing. And it comes and goes. It can hurt. I mean, it can build and it can be shattered in an instant.
In an instant.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think that would be the key to their success, I mean, is to ride their high early and keep that up, because if there is any difference, like kind of Fugit alluded to, is I think Legion has more of an ability to bounce back when pushed in the corner or when things don't go their way. And for in-game, if it doesn't go their way, as you saw in those matches against Raid, they can fall apart really quickly. And so if they're not riding that high, then that's when they're going to be at their weakest, and they're going to make mistakes. And so in game, I think that's the only thing they have to be cautious about is technically just messing up. You know?
Yeah, I think so. To be honest, yeah. I mean, they have what it takes to be the best clan in the E server, and yeah, it only takes a little bit of psychological issue and then to tip them off.
And that's what I mean. When you get to the likes of these teams, okay, you can't turn around. You can't say realistically, that they're weak on strats, or they're weak on basics, or they're weak on the technical or mechanical side, because they're not.
They're not really.
They're top clans.
The top clans are really strong in that. Like, don't get me wrong. They I think even if I say like the strategical part of endgame is like probably that this is still like the strongest amongst all the top 10 teams here. Yeah, there's just that good.
And the only blips, the weaknesses all these teams have to an extent is more psychological. Over pushing, overconfidence, over aggressive, or too passive,
or hesitation. That's what I saw with Carnage. Hesitation.
Carnage is a prime example. I mean, fantastic clan, one of the best. You know, you can see how quickly that element of doubt can come into a game and change it massively.
And it's not because they have like bad strats or bad mechanical skills or something like that. It's psychology.
And as Nub said, they've got some of the best players, if not the best players.
Yeah, I agree. That's why a lot of esports teams, they hire a psychologist in their team. Like, it's that important, like the psychology in esports. I'm not sure if some of the other clans have actually hired some of the psychologists in their team.
I'm telling you, don't underestimate it. It's massive.
Massive.
It's massive. I mean, at this level, there's no way anybody can sit here at this level and say, oh, you know, he's not a particularly good player. It's bullshit. They're very good players.
Language.
You know, I mean, these guys, you cannot fault these guys technically.
No, you can't.
No,
really, you can't.
They are, you know, at the top of their game.
True, definitely.
It's not the only things that are going to hurt them are technical issues, i.e., ping or connection issues, etc., or psychological, and that is it. Nothing else.
Yeah. So before I move on, do you guys have any comments about endgame?
I think their mental is quite good, honestly. You can't talk about some persons maybe, but from what we see now, what I've seen, they're not talking any shit. So I think they're experienced. They know what they're doing. They've been there before. Of course, they can get cocky. Everybody can. When you face somebody that's probably on the paper weaker than you. Yeah. But, I mean, honestly, I think their mental is good. And everybody who has put his time to play these games on that level are probably having a mental close to each other.
So
good. Yeah, that's my point. I don't think they have a bad mental.
Right. Okay, let's move on to Raid. Okay, actually, in the Big Four, the top 10 head-to-head matches win rate, they are actually one of the lowest. But it's still very high, 50.0. It's like half, like 1 in 2 chances that you're going to win a team in the top 10. However, they have a curse in the finals though. They finished second 4 times. They couldn't even finish first in one of the finals. So, so if Raid went into the finals, yes, they are going to finish second potentially. Sorry to say that, but yes, this is hard truth. Unfortunately, they are ranked 3rd, so they are very high in the leaderboard. Stream stats, percentage of cap wins 38.9. It's actually higher than endgame. We thought that Raid's the team that rotates a lot and so on, and like the caps like not so important, but they have played a lot more with caps lately. So interesting fact. Average remaining hit points, I think it's even higher than endgame, 4,256. That's really high. Is it the highest? I think it's one of the highest of the top 10. And their most used tanks, they are the only team that used T110 E5 more than 100 times. And after that, IS4 28 times, T22 21 times. So
The Legion 113, they also used a lot
yeah,
of the
they
Legion.
use a lot of 1-3. So if I talk about 1-3s, they use it for 18 times. So not far away.
That's a lot.
That not yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Not far away from the most used tanks here. So yeah. So what do you guys think about raid?
Focus
Well,
first,
I,
struggle.
The
I,
deal
I
from
was
you.
looking. I was looking at that E5 strat or E5 stat actually
Yeah.
when you were mentioning it,
Yeah.
and then the 113 got brought up.
Yeah.
And this is just purely speculation because I unfortunately don't know the team well enough to dive into specifics.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen and what's known about their gameplay and ability to turn it around and kind of counter push or make the right adjustments, I think their tank lineup, unfortunately, or their tanks that they've been using are going to hinder that. So it's kind of strategy-wise, maybe they need to reevaluate some things or tighten up in certain areas because the tanks they're bringing to the table with their stats,
I do agree.
they're not really indicative of their gameplay capabilities, in my opinion. And I think that might hold them back.
I mean, they used a lot of Super Conquerors and was
Oh
very
no,
weird.
Super Conquerors from my stats. I'm not sure if I actually missed some of them. They only use 3 times, so I don't know. Yeah, it's like an idea that you use a lot of Super Conquerors. That's because they are the only team potentially, like pretty much the only team that is using the Super Conqueror.
Yeah, and I think their rotations tend to be a little bit late and predictable, unfortunately.
But they have
maybe-
a new team. They have a new team. You have to understand that they.
Not
it's
really.
kind of
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is maybe they're great at like focus firing and whatnot, but no, in the end, they're able to turn it around with some positions that other teams would fail at.
Right.
But what I'm saying is their gameplay, unfortunately, is becoming a little bit predictable. As far as if you read their lineup, you read their positioning, and then you kind of, I guess what I'm saying is their strats. They don't leave a lot to be unexpected. Like let's say a team like Win or even I mean, a perfect example would be like the recent matches against LOCA on Castilian.
Right.
They were very close. There were some great strats, but the execution was a little delayed, in my opinion, and that causes the matches to be very, very close. And so I think that's something that they need to be aware of.
Yeah, and I mean, the stats also prove your point here because, as I said, the average remaining hit points was the highest in the top 10, 4,256. Yeah, you might be right. They sometimes might have left it so late that it became a bit close, and then so on. And Fuji, what do you think about raid?
Well, let me just get this out there.
Right.
To an extent, I feel sorry for Raid because every time they play, there is an expectation that we are going to be watching the Twister champions.
True.
This isn't the team that won Twister, okay?
No.
Number one.
That
team was in its groove at the time.
Yeah.
The Legion was not there. Legion was not there. Neither was Endgame.
It doesn't matter. When they won Twister, they were at the top of the game, pulling things out that nobody had even considered, like Messi's grill strap. And a lot of people have the expectation that every time Raid goes out, they're going to win. And it's like watching Premier League football. Every time Man United go out, they're going to win. Or every time England go to a World Cup, they're going to win. It doesn't happen. And so Raid have this expectation, and then everybody points fingers at them to say, oh, they're not particularly good here, they're not particularly good there, because they're on such a high pedestal. Underestimate Raid seriously at your disadvantage, because they are one of the best teams still on EU, regardless of what you may think. Their ability to turn a game around is unbelievable.
Right.
Their ability to go up against Legion in endgame and not be phased by them and turn it on its head to their advantage
Right.
is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
They've cruised so far through this Ascent tour.
Yeah, the cruise a long way.
They have not been on full throttle. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And when you get to the Pro Series, you will see a different raid.
Yeah.
Seriously, don't underestimate these guys. They are still at the top of their game. Now, they may be trailing Legion in endgame at the moment, which is understandable, you know, because Legion and endgame have been working harder and harder.
Yeah.
And to compare to raid, this is where the sorry kicks in again. They did sit on their laurels a little bit after winning Twister.
Yes.
Which their gameplay went down a bit. But at the end of the day, they have got the ability to turn it. So be careful with these guys.
Right.
They're not scared of any. They're not scared of any clan.
Yeah,
and if
true.
you're going to ask me what their weakness is, it's Winter Melanovka. They are pants on Winter Melanovka.
But you know, we have to know that raid. I mean, the old raid team actually won against Ace Ventura on Winter Melanovka.
Absolutely, exactly.
So
Banks, just pointing out, Banksku did say something in the YouTube chat, and you know what, mate? I cannot agree with you more. To be honest with you, they lost some respect from me for what they did in spring as well.
True, that's
and
true.
I totally agree with that, Banksku.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, underlying pro of the cup system, which I have to credit to Wargaming, they've kind of improved that massively. Although there are still like shortcomings with the pressing cup system, but I think it's like the best so far I've seen for all the seasons which involves a cup system. I think this season has it like almost perfect, and that's why, like, even though some clans rake with quotation marks on the win rate seeding, you didn't see like surprising teams in the top, but like you don't see big surprises. But like and that's, you have to give a lot of credit to the cup system. They kind of made it a lot better this season. You can, if you don't trust me, go to my server and look at Python Nerd channel, where I actually pointed out that the win rate seeding actually caused a negative correlation. Very strong negative correlation, like average team win rate against the head-to-head match win rate. It's a very negative correlation. But then if you see the other graph, you don't see some big surprises there. That's because of the cup system. So, if just to digress, I'm going to talk about raid. I haven't seen a lot of raid games, so potentially I might get it all wrong. But let's talk about the weaknesses first, because that's kind of somewhat obvious, not obvious, but like somewhat that's actually popped on my mind. Is that their coordination is far from the team in 2018. I would say. Focus fire, I think it's not as good as both Endgame and Legion, but it's still pretty good. I mean, personally, I think it's still pretty good. And with Money Dude, OG, and also Playmaker, and also who else? Noob Eater, pretty new in raid. I mean, they still kind of blended in pretty well, so like you can't blame them for that. I mean, they're pretty new in raid, so you kind of instead you should kind of give credits to these new players kind of blending into the raid team relatively well. But yes, Focus Fire, I would say not the best I've seen, but I think an even bigger problem will be their formation. So sometimes they might have like isolated tanks suddenly, and maybe they have like stratified formation. So what I mean by stratified formation, so for example, defending, if you have like 2 tanks in the front and like 3 other tanks at the very far back, obviously you know what the enemy is going to focus on. Yeah, I mean you don't need to like call out the target, especially to like, especially because it's much more obvious than like having a horizontal straight line where tanks are next to each other, and sometimes raid fell victim of that. And rushing sometimes also somewhat uncoordinated. Maybe sometimes we saw like one sometimes one by one. I don't know, but like maybe I'm talking gibberish, but this is kind of what I kind of notice a bit. But yeah, so that's kind of, I think, what is going on with Raid. The strong part, obviously, what they are very capable of rotation. I think it's they're kind of like the masters of rotations as well, because if you remember back in spring season Raid against Endgame, where Endgame like got 2 caps on Halis, and yes, it looks like win for Endgame, obviously. And what did Raid do? How did even Raid want that one rotation? They have one of the, they have really good. I mean, yeah, I'm going to contradict myself here, but when they rotate, they can have good coordination. But yeah, I know I'm contradicting. Just don't make a video of me contradicting myself, you know.
And that's why I say never underestimate.
Never
Raid.
underestimate Raid.
These guys, admittedly, they've got a couple of new players. But
Yeah.
Don't read too much into that. These guys have got oodles of experience at this level, and their ability to bunker down and change a game without panic is unbelievable.
That's true.
And people write these off at their peril. They really do.
Yeah. Don't forget. Also, one more thing. Closer to now. Don't forget. I mean, this summer tournaments Raid against Lux Novum. Lux Novum was like having cap lead and also like more than 2,000 hit point pool lead. Raid won that one on Hot Bay. How come?
Again, it's an interesting one because I mean, if you watch Raid,
yeah.
Unlike a lot of the top teams,
Yes.
who like to get an early cap, Raid don't. You notice.
Yeah.
Raid never
does.
tries to rush to get cap advantage.
Yes. But you
And,
can't.
and they do that a lot of the time. They let the other
Yes.
team get the cap advantage,
Right.
and then they punish them. And,
That's true.
and you mentioned Endgame and you mentioned Lux Nova, and that's exactly what Raid do.
Yeah.
And this is good. You cannot underestimate them or write them off at all.
That's true. But then you saw a lot more percentage of cap wins. So definitely Raid have been playing
absolutely.
a lot more of a cap strategy. But Carl wants to say something.
Yeah. So the Raid team is quite actually. I didn't expect this Raid team to produce on the level they do.
Right.
Like in terms of rotation, it's like they have an eye of a streamer. Like as they played as a streamer, I could see because they're really choosing the correct ways all the time to take down tank or something. Like where to go. Positioning first, overlook, and then commit to what they're doing. That's basically their gameplay.
Yeah.
Kind of slowish, a lot of E5s as we saw in the results, because they're like the
Yeah.
best time for everything. Like in all situations, it has reactive, curl DPM, like everything.
Yeah.
And for those type of strats where you wanna commit to something really hard,
Yeah.
E5 is not even. E5 is quite fast as well, like reliably fast, fast enough. So that buys them enough time to actually make it out
Right.
and turn fights sometimes. Like the way of tunneling is actually very nice to watch.
Right.
It's like they had it's like they had an eye of an eagle or something.
Yeah. So I think Coward, I mean, you inspired me in kind of telling, in mentioning the strengths of Raid, and I don't know why I left that because Raid seldom hesitates. They don't have. I mean, if you talk about hesitation, Raid will be the last team you want to mention as their weakness. Definitely, they are very committed when they make a rotation, and even more committed than both Legion and Endgame, in my opinion. Like, if they go for that rotation, they go for it. Like, they're not going to ask the leader, is it going to be worth it? No, I don't think they are like that. So yeah, I think Coward kind of raised and inspired me a really good strength about Raid. That kind of their decisiveness at times could be unimaginable.
Yeah, and punishing.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They are punishing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel sorry for Raid to an extent because a lot of people have put them on this massive pedestal since winning Twister. And, you know, you're not always going to win.
Yeah.
And sometimes the criticism of Raid is a little bit unfair.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
I agree with all that.
yeah,
There's just some things that I would like to see them tighten up a little bit.
right.
You know, I just think they need to make a few adjustments. Just, you know, they need to become a little bit more solid. And for me personally, I'd like to see them go with a little bit more mobile lineup in the future. But we'll see how it plays out.
Oh, I mean that's kind of like contrary to what we expect for Raid, because back in 2018 they're very mobile. But also one point I forgot to mention about Raid strengths, which is, oh my god, what did I forget suddenly? Man, I forgot. What was that? Rotations and stuff like that. Man, I just suddenly forgot what I want to say about their strengths about Raid, because I remember there is one more. No, I might come back to that. I just forgot suddenly. Right, so do you guys have any more comments about Raid?
Oh, I'm looking forward to see them play top 8.
Oh, that will be...
I want to see how they play different from the other team.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yes, I remember Crossfire. Why do I forget that? Raid's Crossfire. Oh my god, impeccable. This is the sole reason why Raid were so dominant in the Blitz Summer tournaments in the knockout stages, because they knew how to get the Crossfire well, and that's like that's what put them above some of the teams. To be honest with you, Crossfire. Sometimes it's like KDS in some respect. Like they're going to go to some position. They're going to take some risks, but it doesn't matter because you're going to get Crossfire in while the enemies might be holding, so on. That's also very strong strength for the Raid, I think. Right, so let's move on to the next clan. Immortals. Actually, they have a better top 10 head-to-head matches win rate. Maybe because they kind of played a lot against Mercy, I don't know. But their win rate is 52.5%. They finished first one of the time, which is very impressive indeed against Raid 2-1, if you remember that tiebreaker on New Bay, which I think is sick. Failed to create a choke point. Like, failed to kind of block Immortals tanks from, like, yeah, that's like the main reason why Raid lost, by the way. In the, I think S4 something like that, but more on that later. Stream stats. If I didn't make miscalculations, they are the highest teams with the they have the highest percentage with the cap wins, 66.7%. So 2 in 3 of their wins come from cap wins. So that's kind of interesting stat here. Their average remaining hit points still are quite low. However, 3,319, and then moves use tank. I mean, we haven't streamed a lot of Immortals, that's why the number is quite low. But E5 is still their most popular choice, followed by IS4 and then the Vegas Light. So, what do you guys think about Immortals now?
Should I start maybe? Like
I've
seen them play. I've obviously seen them play a lot.
Yeah.
So I think they play a kind of different, like not this year's meta maybe, because they play a lot of mobility, Vickers together with T22 maybe sometimes you play like free medium on some maps.
Yeah.
And you said that you have a lot of cap wins, and playing with a lot of mobility. I think that could actually be the case why they're winning. And from what I've seen, they're really good at utilizing the meds, and the med players in IMM0R are doing a big job.
Right.
And then if I'm gonna say the weaknesses just shortened, I think it's that communication maybe between the heavies. The heavies often fall off from the mediums.
Oh yeah. I remember like a big communication issue with Immortals against Raid. I mean it's Immortals win in the end, but like it took them like several seconds for the tanks at the back to come in to support the heavies. If they stay at the back for a longer time, Raid might have punished them. And I know that Raid at that time they kind of trapped themselves in the pocket, which obviously they are the bigger to blame here. But yeah, Immortals, like the communication issue, that could be a problem. Fujit, what are your opinions about Immortals?
a couple of things. Unfortunately, I haven't seen many Immortals
Nope.
games
Nope.
this season. And I'll be honest, I carry baggage when it comes to Immortal because
Right.
I streamed them in the spring season.
Right. And it's a totally different team.
They came last. I don't
Yeah.
think they won a single match,
Yeah.
and they were utterly disappointing. And I say that with a heavy heart because I like him all. I've always liked him all.
Yeah.
And the spring season really disappointed me. The games I've seen them play, they've tightened up since then. They've been impressive in some of the games. Some of the games they haven't, but some of the games I've seen, they've been impressive.
Right.
And as Ready to Flex says, their medium play has got a lot better. Seriously, it's they've really tightened up around the mobility in their team, and that's helped them a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping and praying. And Cougar, I know you're the clan lead, but you're not the leader of this team. Cougar, please don't do what you did to me in the spring season. Don't get to the pro tour and then lose it.
No, ask APA's leader for that because they've done it twice actually.
No, if you have any complaints, just talk with GaSeO.
True.
GaSeO, again, GaSeO. But GaSeO wasn't in that Immortal team in the spring season, so. Then
Anyway.
GaSeO, to be fair, I mean, GaSeO's got a shed load of experience.
Yeah.
A fantastic player, and I think he's the caller, is he not?
He is mostly like he's the one doing the head calls, and he's often the one deciding like if. I mean, it's him you tell the information to, so it's his decisions most often.
I think
That's probably one of the reasons why they're a lot steadier now than they were in spring, because I mean GaSeO brings a lot to the table.
A lot of experience. A lot to. I mean,
he got a lot of engine. It's like an engine when he's speaking. It's a lot of energy, and it's like
right.
so it's kind of hard to not do what he says, and not in a bad way, in a good way.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I know what you mean.
I think except MHS, he has probably next to no experience in calling at all, apart from NHS probably. But I mean, he's been doing an impressive job. Not to say that, that's to say. So you kind of have to give credits to him, to be honest.
I mean, actually, I've got the baggage from the spring season, and I haven't seen many of their games. So I mean, I'm glad they're there. I've liked him all for a long time.
Right.
And like I said, it was a heavy heart for the spring season for me. Yeah. I just hope they don't do it this time because they have the ability.
They have the ability. I think what actually I'll put my views here. I think what actually put them like on the radar now. I think quite a lot to do. I think GaSeO kind of is a hardworking person. I think he watched a lot of streams. So, I mean, look at some of the rotations, some of the movements from Immortals. Like it kind of reminds me of some of the top teams. Like then you saw them how they react to information. Sometimes they did really well. Let's say for example, Immortals versus when they like lost 1-2. As soon as Win pushes onto A side, they kind of rush to the B side immediately. And then for the first game, if not for the double bounce and Win's extremely good strategy to trap them down the river, Immortals might have won that game as well. So you can just my main point is don't underestimate Immortals at all because I think one of the strengths here is reading information, and that is to do with like GaSeO's experience in Clan Wars and so on. And I think he reads things really well, so you kind of have to give credits to him. And then weaknesses, I think kind of like the start, not kind of the building clans, is that what I would say, focus fire. Yeah, I mean they've done well, but they still have some distance to get to that. And then as Coward said, communication could be an issue, and that could be the difference between getting a stratified lineup when formation when you're defending or attacking, and a horizontal straight line when you're defending or attacking. And sometimes that could be an issue, like that formation could hurt them sometimes. But they're getting there. Then I agree with how as well. The mediums and lights are very strong as well. I mean, you saw GaSeO running yeah, they are running around the map like a madman. So like, yeah, they I think they are not the ones that are dragging the team down. Like, I think it's really so.
Yeah, and penning shots. Insider information. It's penning the shots as well.
Penning the shots, yeah, penning the shots, yeah,
in
like
critical situations.
Yeah, like.
But also in early gameplay, because if you need advantage, one way is penning your shots and not getting penned. So
not getting penned. This is the most important thing.
Penning your shots at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, not getting penned is even more important because.
More important, yeah, because that's going to decide whether you are going to have comfortable rotation or you're going to actually do very hard to win that when you have a captain's advantage.
Yeah. I mean, not every battle can be won with the big brain strat. It's gotta be some consistent gameplay as well. Like for all maps, it's gonna be like what you wanna think about is of course saving your HP every battle, always.
Right.
So absolutely, yeah. Okay. And this is the thing about. I mean, this is the thing about IMM0R. I mean, they've got fantastic players with a lot of clan war experience.
Yes.
In there. I mean, you're listening to one now ready to flex, and you got GaSeO Jones or the Timjek Supreme, and they're all there.
Romeo Jones, Flankeo Jones, and then you have E-Lounge, which is really good as well. I mean, Rolling Swarm been rating him very, very highly. So like Immortal's got a lot of really good players. Yes, gelling.
They've got the players. I mean, okay, it's a relatively new team.
Yeah.
Most people doesn't have top 8 experience either, but they're playing on that level from what I've seen. From what we've seen on the results, at least we can verify that.
And that's what I was about to say. I mean, some great players have come in. It's a relatively new team, but they're gelling nicely.
Yeah, and don't forget KB. It's actually a playmaker. Not if people doesn't see, he's actually putting a lot of work. He's the one talking the most apart from GaSeO.
Right. Also, yeah, I mean, I was a bit worried when Third left Immortals to Legion. I was worried where Immortals, with that team, would they be able to cope with that loss? Because that's a really big loss. You know, Zerd, like, he's one of the best callers in the user. And by the way, I would invite him to one of the Friday Night with WoW, so do check on that. So, I mean, yeah, but then they've impressed me a lot, to be honest with you.
You've still got some experienced players in there. I mean, look at you've got Elon's in there, and you've got some great
and
players.
Timjek
Supreme is fantastic.
69 win rate.
Yeah, fantastic player, except for that 215B rush onto the nice crossfire, you know.
At least he's not afraid of going. And that can be a good thing too.
Yeah, thing too. Yeah. I still remember that to this day because it's so iconic.
He would fit into Raid's team at least.
Yeah. Oof. Well, let's does anyone here have any kind of like further comments?
I'm trying to share the IMMR people to join and maybe speak for themselves.
No problem. I'm going to again share the server link and then ask people. The voice channel is oh no, you know that meme oh no. Go watch the summer Ascent Tournament's highlight and you know why it's a meme a bit. I probably might do a 1 hour version, but then my video's editing software crashes when I was trying to do that. So maybe I'll find a better way to do that. Hello object as well. I mean I've been too busy analyzing stuff. And you know what's going to be the next clan I'm going to analyze, which is I think if you're watching this, tell them to come in and give some support to me. Win! It is going to be win. Top 10 head-to-head matches win rate, actually pretty impressive considering they only have like 66% average win rate according to the website. They have 54.3% top 10 head-to-head matches win rate. Past finishes a bit fluctuating though, but I mean 3 times they got into semi-finals and then further beyond. Movement in the leaderboard, they're climbing up steadily. Maybe they'll climb up to 4th after Sunday. But the stream stats, it's here. I think they are the team with the least percentage of cap wins, only 13.6%. That's very low. And the average remaining hit points is the lowest apart from APA, which we don't have a lot of data. So the lowest of all the top 8 clans, but they are in the 5th place, so impressive stats. Most used tanks pretty equally spread. You have E5, 79 users, IS4, 71 users. Biggest Light, however, is not their most used tank, only with 65 users, but then they really like Biggest Light. It's actually the team with the highest usage in with this tank, of course. So, let's start discussing Win. This is a very interesting clan. So let's one of you just begin.
Well, I think that those stats, they kind of say it all, right? You know, the cap points and then the Vickers.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They got great gameplay. Let's just say that. They got great gameplay.
True. And by the way, you know, Win actually is the team that's been streamed the most. I've counted like 38 matches that we have data on. I think this is the highest of all the top 10 clans we have. So Win is actually the most streamed clan. Not even one of the big 4. So congratulations, Win. Right. So the deal for Ru continue. I sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just saying, like, I mean, look at those stats, look at the gameplay. I mean, it's there, you know. And I think I kind of cut in on Fugit. I think he wanted to go on this one because I know Fugit really
go for it.
Is opinionated.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm going to say it straight off the bat. I am biased because I love Win. They have a massive. I have a massive soft spot in my heart for these guys.
Yeah, me too.
For very unconventional reasons, and my reasons for loving them is they're firstly one of the most unpredictable top clans on the EU server. True. You cannot read what they're going to do.
Yep.
And they, you know, I know some of the guys. I've spoken, and they take a lot of it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
And I've got a flag that I wave for them because I really want them to be there because they're so entertaining to watch.
True.
And you know, I hope the guys don't. I don't think, you know, hand on heart, they are in a position to win the autumn tour. But I tell you what,
dark horse.
They are in a position to tell everybody we're here and we're going to get better and we're going to be back and we have got the capability to win.
Yes.
And I think
is that pun intended?
Seriously, seriously. I mean, these guys to watch, you don't know what they're going to do from one game to the next. I mean, I was streaming them the other day against Appa on Normandy and Killer, because just to put you in the picture, guys, if you don't know, they're all called From the North.
Yeah, because
and
they're from
Killer
Finland.
From the North was in a Vickers. No matter where I put the camera, there was Killer shooting things. And I could have been on one side of the map, there was Killer. And I was on the other side of the map, there was Killer.
Can't say.
They were unbelievable, and they decided, right, you know what? We're not gonna jerk around with getting into positions and going all down. We're gonna spot them, look at their weakness, and just rip into them. And
good evening.
Oh, good evening. Is it? GaSeO. Hello.
You finally came.
Hello.
Let Fidget continue. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, sorry.
So I love Win because I love watching them because they have you on the edge of the seat. They really do. And like I said, I don't think they're going to win outright, but they have the ability to spoil anybody's party. They really do, and it's just brilliant that they're in there. Really, really good stuff. That's all I got to say, because I'm quite biased towards them.
Okay.
Like I'm biased towards Vale. I'm biased towards both those teams.
Right. Okay. So how about the Immortals, guys? Do you have anything to say about Win?
Yes.
Well,
if I can speak before Miguel, or if Miguel wants to speak.
Yeah, sure. Go first.
Okay. So I'm probably biased towards some Win guys. I'm Finnish, like I'm born Finnish as well. So
Right.
I mean, it's my northern heart, but I think as well from the entertaining perspective, they're really, really, really something you want to look at, because they play their own game. They're not doing the casuals, even though they might pick the casual lineup. But the tanks, it's not we deciding. We pick what's best, of course.
Yeah.
They're playing, but their strats. I mean, I don't think they play strats even like they utilize positions more of, and it's a lot of aggressiveness, and it's a lot of not tunneling, but it's like they're not stopping for something, like for most stuff, like because they know how to do it, like they know how you should go to a spot, how, like, and what happens if somebody interrupts them there, then they're gonna go from the other side with others and stuff.
Yeah.
That's basically the way of thinking.
That's
And I
actually, sorry to interrupt. That's actually what I want to achieve with my team. To be honest with you, like if I were to lead a team, Win would be my virtual.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not about pure individual skills,
Yeah.
because that's other stuff. That's about pure team combination, and these guys speak the same language.
That's a very big advantage.
They go to meetings with each other, like they meet each other in real life. It's a
Right.
totally different relation between them.
Right.
And I think that since they played back in back, like from long time, it's like the old raid team, like they always play together. It's same with the Win. They haven't really switched clans because they had a strict clan with their guidelines and stuff. So the guys, of course, stayed, and I think that's the reason why Win always been consistent with what they're doing. Like they're never taking from somebody else, unless it's something good. But I think it's entertaining to watch at least.
It's very entertaining, so definitely. GaSeO, your turn.
Yeah, well, I think Win, it's maybe top 4 you right now. They have in my opinion, they have a lot of potential, to be honest. They are, like Covert said, they are like this group of people that are together like for years now, and they have always been like in the top.
Right.
And I'm sure that in this Blitz Cup, I think it's called, the tournament of top 8, the professionals, basically. Yeah.
Let's go preliminaries, yeah.
I'm sure they will give a good show, and I think they are like maybe the top 3 team to entertain people, like to watch. It's one of the best because it makes specialist strats that nearly no one plays, and they can come with everything. Like you can't expect what will they play. Like it's impossible to know. Maybe they will play for caps, or I don't know. Like it's really difficult to know what they will play. It's one of the, in my opinion, one of the hardest opponents right now in the top 8.
That's why I love them. They're so unpredictable.
So unpredictable.
Yeah, they are unpredictable. Yeah, that's the name.
Yeah, well, my take on that, I was saying, Win is my virtual, because so I'm going to actually tell you my philosophy about Clan Wars. So one of the main reasons actually I think EU needs to steer away from is playing too much with caps. Like, yeah, I know, like, you need to win, sometimes need to win by caps, but it's beyond that, I would say. Because sometimes clans like play too much with caps, but they forgot that hit point's so important. Like they risk all of their HP just to get that cap, and then they don't like defend or something, like defend and rotations like that. Win is the other thing. Like when they show you how to tackle Clan Wars, I would say. They just kind of what they do with Vicky's Lights, get the information, run around the map, all around the map, and just maybe even stay in that position just to be that messenger for that team. That is what I think the role of a light or medium is to run around, get the information, and don't try to hold, like don't try like go in front of the heavy tank armor. Like I see it with a lot of clans going in front of the heavy tank, and then you're definitely going to bounce. Like it's like 240 penetration. Bad chat 240 penetration. I know clients are not going to run with bad chat, but you see what I mean. Like Win showed how you should be playing in the mediums and lights. Get crossfire, get information, flank around, go for it. And fluid lineup, like they don't like stay in the same position, they kind of move around a lot. And even if they have cap lead, they still try to go and find the weakness of the team, and that's very important because with that kind of philosophy, when the enemy team doesn't have a lot of cap lead, they will be thinking, how am I going to rotate that? And that would take them time, and that would take them coordination. When I'm going to make use of this opportunity, find their weakness, go for it, crossfire, make them panic. I like that. This is what my philosophy exactly is. It's like like yes, I really love how they tackle clan wars. It's like that's why I'm so biased on that. That being said, though, that doesn't put them the best clan in the EU server at the moment because of two main mistakes they are making at the moment, and which, if they tackle these two mistakes, they will be the best clan in the EU server. But they need to tackle these two mistakes first. First, dropping hit points too early on in the game, and that I have seen a lot with Win. Sometimes that went against them, and sometimes against clans like EG or Legion, if you drop too many hit points at the start, if you want to rotate against them, if you don't have that hit point pool advantage, you are going to suffer a lot. You're going to be under a lot of pressure. Sometimes they kind of go too aggressively at the start, and yeah, most of the time it works, but then it requires a lot of coordination, and that's what I like as well. Like when coordination is so good as well, like their communication I think is one of the best. You can see it on the stream. They have one of the best communications. You can see it from how they play, how they coordinate with one another. And let's not talk about Fish Cycle because I'm definitely sure they have similar mechanic to that. So yeah, so definitely.
Jack.
What?
I'm back. What do you want?
I don't know what you want. So let's continue, Sugar Baby. Yeah. So first of all, tidy up with your hit point, losing too many hit points at the start, because that could like go against you when you need to rotate, and I hope you don't suffer from that. Second main problem, and that's I have seen in the recent streams. You need to figure out a way to defend when you you're not the aggressor in this match. We saw it with Mercy one time, the first game of Castillo, when he rushed totally to C, when just couldn't form a good just couldn't put a good formation to defend. Like they don't have a good formation defensive lineup, and you can compare it to Endgame against Krakendes, where Krakendes did the exact same thing, and look how Endgame reacted to that. Yeah, so it makes a lot of difference if Win have an idea, if Win have a strong idea. I don't know how to say that, but to defend against a rush, they need to absolutely think of a way to make that.
They can't really counter rush. From what we've seen,
yeah,
that's the main problem.
Legion against Win, same. Biggest problem: stratified defensive formation. That makes it pretty easy for the enemies to focus the tank down, because you obviously know which tank you're going to focus. You don't need that. Like for example, Legion, you don't need to. Whoopsie doesn't need to say on the chat like all the time, like focus that time, focus what athlete from North. They don't need to say that all the time. Like it's obvious because like there are tanks at the back, there are tanks at the front. You know which tank to focus, right? So when if they could improve on that, best team in the EU server, I would say so. Right. So, do you have any comments on that?
I love Counter Strike. I just love
Not at all.
I just love Win. I just think every time I screen them, I just call them the plucky Finns.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. Because they are the
Right.
plucky Finns.
Yeah. Ooh, Nicolate's here as well. Oof. Oh my god, there's so many good players here. I mean, oh my god. Oh my god, this Friday Night with WoW stream is going to break a lot of records as a podcast, so that's just going to be really good.
It deserves to.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh my god. So when it's the team that I look up for. I mean, it's the team that it's the virtue. Like this, the playstyle is very similar to my philosophy. And should I actually insist on leading a team, then I probably would kind of emulate a lot of the style from Win. Yes. I mean, I don't think anyone asked me what fish cycle is, but I maybe make an entire video on that topic. But I'm definitely sure they're definitely doing something about that, like similar mechanic. I can guarantee. Yeah. So right. Any more comments about Win before we move on to the next one, which I think would stir a lot of communication, a lot of conversation as well. Any more?
No, I think it's good.
Good. Okay, yeah, actually not quite there yet, but we're going to talk about LOCA, which I haven't streamed a lot on, but the top 10 head-to-head matches win rate, they have 54.5%. Past finishes, fluctuating, just because they always face against Raid in the round of 16, so some of the times they have to beat against Raid in round 16 to get through. It's not because they're inconsistent, it's nothing like that. Blame the seeding, just don't blame LOCA on this. They're not inconsistent, I would say. I mean, they're also pretty new as a team. Not telling about the players. The players have a lot of experience. That's not questionable. Like, that's for certain. Stream stats, percentage of cap wins. Surprisingly, very low, 21.4% percentage of cap wins. Average remaining hit points 3,365, and the most used tanks. E5 for 57 users, IS4 28 users, Vickers Light 16 users. But that doesn't say anything about LOCA, because I'm going to tell you they use Sheridan 15 times, and they have like a lot of other tanks they used, which actually kind of like went out of my goes out of my list. For example, they use T57 Heavy, IS7, Badger, VK72.01K 2 times, Progetto 46, E100 4 times, Object 263, T110 E3, SCB1 4 times. So they have used a lot of tanks in tier 10. Like, if you face LOCA, a very high chance they use a tank that you don't expect in Clan Wars.
Yeah, they have French people in their team, of course. Like, they have Spitfire. He's the most creative player I met.
Right. I mean,
Well, I don't know if
wait,
creativity at this point.
am I not creative, coward? Sorry. Well, wasn't to hate you on that, but okay. Anyway, Daniel, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I don't know if they're necessarily creative at this point. I think that you know their tank lineup is indicative of that. And I think that's the problem we're seeing with LOCA at the current moment. Is like you hit it on their new team. I don't think the solid team play is there, at least anyways in strat wise, because you'll see they're great players, right?
Yeah,
they have the ability to pretty much beat anybody.
Yeah,
but the gameplay is not on other teams' level, in my opinion. Like I said, I think they need to tighten up strats. They need to kind of stop relying on just being strong players and come more together with a plan, a uniform plan, instead of diversifying their portfolio, if you will. And I think that's why, like you said, with their crazy tank lineup I think they're still in the trial and error stage, maybe.
Right, right.
But they're pretty successful at it, though. We're seeing. I mean, they're there. They're gonna be in the top 8. So,
Right.
you know, it's. I think ultimately it's up to them to grow,
Right.
to become more solid, and to be an unbeatable force. It's in their hands.
Yeah, it is definitely. Fujit, I think you stream them a lot more than I do because
No,
I think.
I've streamed them twice.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I haven't seen much of LOCA so far in this part of the tour. To be honest with you, I've only streamed them, I think, maybe 3 times.
Right.
So I haven't really seen them in this part of the series. But the thing about LOCA is, I mean, okay, LOCA have always been a solid top 8 EU clan. Some would argue potentially a solid top 4.
Right.
The only thing I can always say about LOCA is they've got a great team. Okay,
Right.
some of they're rotating some new players in, but they always seem to sort of nod up their game.
Right.
They've been in top 8, top 4 now on the EU for a long time,
Right.
and I'd like to see them challenge for leader. To be
Yeah.
fair.
I think
I'd
so.
like to see them challenge against Endgame and Legion and Raid and all the other big teams that you would. And those teams, you know, those 3 teams, they're always going to be top 4 realistically.
Right.
They're at the moment. They'll be knocked out eventually because you've got better teams coming up.
Right.
But at this moment in time, Endgame, Legion, and Raid are in the top 4.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
LOCA should be beating them.
Yeah.
Should be leapfrogging them.
Yeah.
And it's always surprised me that LOCA hasn't been able to do that.
Well, I mean, the stats they say otherwise, 54.5%, which is still a pretty impressive win rate though. But yeah, I think it's just an illusion to be honest. Here, maybe because the games where they lost got more intensive coverage, potentially. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But as I said, I mean, I'm being slightly unfair to LOCA because I haven't seen much of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Through this Prove Your Skill Ascent tour.
Yeah, me as well. So
Well, just recently when they matched up against Raid, to be honest with you, those matches they could have went either way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Raid didn't clearly beat them, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, LOCA almost had those matches, and so, you know, I think that's indicative of their gameplay as far as top 4. So they're no pushover.
But that's
you
what
know,
I'm
they're
saying.
not.
That's what I'm saying. LOCA have always been a team to me that is maybe. They maybe could have done that. They maybe could have done this.
right.
They're always going to be in the top 8, and they're always arguably going to be top 4. But how many times? I mean, okay, you're talking about basically the Ascent Tour at the moment. I'm looking at the Pro Tour. In the Pro Tour, it's very rare that you've got LOCA challenging in the final at the end.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. They've got the ability to do it.
Yeah.
They're just a team that sort of, well, they maybe could have.
Yeah.
And as you've just mentioned, they're the team for real. You know, they played against Raid. They could have beat Raid. So there's another maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just always expecting LOCA to up their game a little bit more.
True.
They just
No,
seem
no,
like that. They seem like
yeah,
that.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and then you have like ASP, they won against LOCA on the 3rd match day, which is really weird considering those games where ASP1 could have been easily LOCA. So I would say maybe the chemistry is not there because a lot of them are pretty like new, working as a unit with these kind of players around them. I mean, they are all very experienced players, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, have RGB been calling for like Arrows or Endgame for some time? Because maybe that could also be a reason. Like, they don't have a caller that I could I have a person that I can remember that always plays as a caller role. So I might be wrong on that, but yeah. But I can't really comment on LOCA because I think inherently sometimes I think that you you said about leaving it too late for the caps. LOCA has an even bigger problem. Has an even bigger problem for that. If you saw LOCA against Raid, the first game on Castilla on like Ripstream, they have the hit point pulley, but Raid got the cap in the end. And then you have ASP, where they lost because, yeah, they have done really well to chip away the hit points of ASP, but they left it a little bit too late to kind of get back the cap lead. So my personal view, maybe the problem is the hesitation, but I think, but the strength, obviously the mechanical skill, able to punish the enemies on their mistakes, as you saw with LOCA versus Win, albeit the mouse ammo rag, which very unfortunate, but they punish Win being overly aggressive. Yes, LOCA can punish teams, but they sometimes might need to be careful leaving things for too late. Maybe that's my comment on LOCA, I think, because I haven't seen a lot of games from LOCA. I can't like say too much about what LOCA should be doing, but you know, like...
Find out from GaSeO, Jones and Ready to Flex, they've played against them.
Yeah, what do you guys think about LOCA?
Well, I think they have a very good unit, of course.
Yeah.
I think they have like maybe 4 or 5 top EU players, like among the best.
Yeah, one of the best. They have some really good players, but
yeah,
continue.
they
Yeah.
do. And I mean, they are not that new, since half of the team was playing together in R2K and the other
Yeah.
half was playing in LOCA back in spring.
Yeah.
So they kinda know each other, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's more like a leading problem, like a calling problem. They,
Yeah,
as you said, they don't have a fixed color. You know, I think they are changing between RG, Edgar, and Foxy.
Oh, okay,
I think they should have a fixed one for sure.
Right. Yeah. Wait, I mean, yeah, you can work with like more than one color. Yeah. I mean, is it Legion? That's the case. Raid, they have like all. I mean, everyone is kind of color basically.
But like Legion, they have one color and one co-color, I think.
Yeah,
like,
probably,
it's always important to have one person that it's like the 70% or 80% of the things are called by him.
Yeah,
because if not, it will be a chaos probably. You know, like in IMM0R, for example, we have of course one color and one co-color. Like obviously, it's so needed to have one fixed color.
Yeah.
Because if not, people will go crazy probably. Like they don't know what to listen because. Because if two people are talking at the same time, their brains will just explode probably. Yeah.
It's about structure inside the team. I mean, I don't think we can discuss this stuff honestly about LOCA because we don't know LOCA. So we don't know how they have it. I don't know their situation. Nobody here from LOCA to explain himself or explain something about the team. So, I mean, I think we have to go on what they perform in the future. Honestly,
yeah.
I think,
to be honest,
I think that's the best thing to do. I expect them to still get into the top 8.
Yeah, of course they're going to be top 8. I don't think there is a question about that.
No, but I mean, every player can turn a bad negative trend into something good, and I don't know. Maybe it's just a trend.
Right. So, do you guys have any additional comments to LOCA before we move on? Silence. Okay, so we'll move on.
Well, just as Fugit said, I would like to see them, step it up a little bit and do better and, be there in serious competition for the top 4 because that means that they're in competition for the win. So, I would like to see that.
Okay, so next up we are talking about APA. Please don't kind of screenshot this because the stream starts. I'm going to tell you about this because we only saw like 5 games streamed. Only 5 games, the least of all the top 10 clans we've fought so far. So this statistics is terribly inaccurate. They definitely won some games. The reason why they got 0% in cat wins because I think they lost all 5 games when we were streaming them. Oof. That's why the average remaining HP is 876 because 3 of the games they have 0 hit points remaining, and the one of them is 4,138, but they didn't win that game if I remember correctly. So forget about the stream stats there, and I only showed 2 of their most used tanks, 15 users for E5 and IS4 9 users, and then we have 34.8% top 10 head-to-head matches win rate, which is not the lowest though, the third lowest actually. And then their past finishes, they couldn't get beyond the quarterfinals, not even one time. So the movement in the leaderboard, they have been like flirting with the top 8, to be honest with you. Like, one time they got out of top 8, but then they are back in the top 8, but they are at the periphery. So personally, I can't say too much on how APA was doing because I don't have a lot of data on hand. I don't have a lot of games to make some comments on that, but if you guys can make some comments on APA, do go for it. So what do you guys think?
Streamed APA a few times in this tour and also in the spring season.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not one of the guys who. A lot of people say this is one of the most hated clans on the EU.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. And you know, there are various reasons for that.
Various reasons. Yeah. We don't need to go into. We're not trying to backstab them in
No, this is no place for backstabbing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I get on really well with quite a few of them. I mean, you know, it's not about that. But a lot of people have already got the knives drawn on APA whenever they come out. The only thing I would say about APA is that they've got the players.
Yeah, they got players.
They generally they can, when they want to, play as a team.
Yeah.
But they're incredibly inconsistent.
Right.
They're up and down all over the place, and it's interesting to watch them because you go in with an expectation thinking, well, they know what they're going to be doing.
Right.
They're not win where they win just as their own thing.
Yeah.
And they just don't pull it out, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's very strange to watch in that respect.
True.
And they look uncoordinated in coordination. It's bizarre. It's like I said, I watched them the other day against Win on Normandy.
Yes.
And, you know, coming out the blocks, you thought, wow, APA have positioned themselves well, they've got the right meta, they're doing the right thing.
Right.
Win just said, no, we're going to push you, and then APA just collapsed.
Oh.
Absolutely collapsed.
Yeah.
And you sit there thinking, well, hang on a minute, you know, I know Yennefer is a good player, Ernest is a good player, you know, GaSeO is a good player.
Yeah.
Is a good player.
Oh yeah, we need we need to spend some time getting the pronunciation right.
Yeah, absolutely. Why have they just collapsed like that? And APA do that a lot. They're very inconsistent.
Yeah. I think so. Like, yeah, you said that they collapsed when they got pushed. Same happened to Legion against same happened to APA against Legion. I mean, when Legion pushed, I mean, APA, I mean, yeah, they tried, but then, as you say, they, I might be biased here, but they didn't look like they could do something out of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but maybe you guys, Howard and GaSeO might have a better comment on that. Maybe that's for real if you actually have a good impression.
From what I've seen of APA, they're probably the most predictable. Like not from the beginning of the battle, of course, but like if you play against them, but you know what they're gonna do. You know what their plan is. Yeah. Like you said, when I reckon when you said they play against Win and Win just push them, and that's usually what happens all battle unless they find control, and that's how you beat APA. You don't disallow them from getting control. Right. And you get control of yourself first. So they're kind of predictable if you're just doing what you're doing.
Right.
Like if the mediums can spot them on one side, they're much more likable to like the inhuman brain strat. They're mostly doing with common strats that are already being played, like rushes.
Right.
And it's been like that for a long time now. If APA wants to improve, they should try different meta, and not different meta. They should try different type of strats.
Right.
Like
Oh yeah, I
That's the main problem.
yeah,
That's the main problem.
yeah. Maybe it's I don't know if Kerovnica is a caller or the strategist for them, but I remember that I mean he has some really good strats, but then he might only have like 1 or 2 for each map. So I mean maybe they might want to do more strategies, may want to create more strategies because yeah, if you use the same strategy every time, clans will find a way to shut you down. Yeah, so
Yeah, but it's not only about strat.
yeah, it's not only.
It's not only about strat. It's about adapting in the battle, ready to adapt.
Yeah, ready to
Yeah.
adapt. Yeah.
It's about readying to adapting, because you really need to look on every situation from what it gives you. Like, and every situation is not the same situation.
Not
So
the
you
situation.
like, and that's probably where they lose on it the most,
Right.
because they're just playing the game basically. They're not the most putting the most energy into it. Maybe well, to say it like that sounds bad, but yeah, that's from what I've seen at least, and what my opinion about them. If I'm comparing them for teams like Win, who play with full energy in every single way.
Right. I mean, we have
and not playing like from what you've seen strat like stuff.
Yeah.
They're more playing exploring stuff, like just fully going stuff. And APA is like kind of like full strategic, and no adapting stuff.
right. I mean, we haven't seen the best of APA yet, just because we only streamed 5 times for APA, and yeah, they're usually the best in the group stage. I mean, on Tuesday, I mean they topped their group, beating I think Raid 2-0 on the way and EG 2-1 if I remember correctly. I don't know, but yeah, we haven't seen the best of them yet. Maybe they're just reserving for the top 8. Maybe.
They're the most consistent, inconsistent clan.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say they really need to watch that inconsistency, especially now, because they might not make the top 8.
Yeah. True. Even with that advantage.
With that win rate series.
Oh come on! Why did you reveal that? Show, don't tell.
Well, I was about to say. I mean, you know, like I said, I have nothing against APA at all. Some of the guys I get on with.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, and don't take this the wrong way, guys from APA, you've been lucky to get to where you are this sport.
True.
Is my honest opinion.
Yeah.
It's facts. It's facts, because, like I said, they might not make the top 8.
Oh, I mean, I can pull that back. I mean, before the 5th previous skill tournaments, they won 0 games against a single top 10 EU team before the 5th previous skill tournaments. So yeah, I can verify Fujit's points here. Don't hate Fujit on that, because there are facts to support that.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't hate any of the clans.
Yeah.
None of them.
No, I don't hate any one of the any of the clan as well. So.
But if I'm being brutally honest,
Yes.
do they deserve to be in the top 8 at the moment? Then I would have to say, with tongue in, maybe not. Not because of anything they've done, but I think they've been lucky. Is the honest answer.
Right.
Okay, we may see a different APA in the Pro Tour if they get there, but get into the top 8, they've taken it. They
need to work hard.
They benefited from the screw up to an extent that Vale made against Imor.
Yeah.
Where Imor took them out and didn't let them get into the final round.
Yes.
And they benefited from Vale losing against Legion the other day. So
yeah,
it's hard. I can't turn around and say they're there because they benefited from something that disadvantaged Vale. That's not right to say.
Right. Yeah.
All I can say is that, guys, APA, seriously, I don't hate you, but I think you've been very lucky. And you know, do you deserve to be there? Well, if you put your hand on your heart, I would say probably not.
Right.
This tour. Unless, of course, you crank it up a notch and show us what you really can do.
Right. The deal for real, I think you have a lot of opinions to say about APA. Or is it not?
I actually kind of don't. Other than I was really interested to see if they would turn into this great powerhouse that would just start, piling up the wins and just secure a solid position in the top 8
Right.
and be kind of the next wild card contender for the for the final eight teams.
Right.
But just like we're analyzing and it's just the inconsistency on a continuous basis. And like we talked about, maybe even because of their lack of strategies or whatever, their team gameplay is just, I don't even know if they'll make the top 8.
Right. GaSeO Jones, you've been silent, and stop muting yourself. Say something about APA.
Yeah, 1 second, please.
1, go. It's already 1 second.
Well,
doing something.
look. I'll add this in though. I was kind of rooting for them. Like I said, I'm all about wildcard teams.
Yeah.
And,
We haven't seen the best of them, definitely. They haven't. We haven't. It's the 3 more match days, so.
Yeah, and so let's not beat them up too bad because, like we said, they have some great players and this and that, right?
Yeah.
And it's just. Maybe they're just not there yet. They're not ready.
They're
They're
just reserving themselves. They're just reserved.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be, like I said, whether they make the top 8 or not. That's gonna be, I think, the determining factor on what we see from them as a team.
Yeah, I think we. GaSeO, go for it.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I can agree with Fujit though. Like, I mean, in my opinion, there's nothing much to expect from there. Like beating up the good teams, like actually top teams. Since they came from this spring season where they just won 1 game.
Yes.
And the team barely changed. To be honest, like I think they are literally the same people.
Yeah, which
probably
is
one or two.
Yeah, which is a really good thing.
Yeah, but well, if they didn't do well in the spring season, I don't think they will do this. Like they will improve in this season. Since we already played a lot of tournaments and they didn't show up a good fight against the top teams.
Yeah.
So I think it will remain the same. To be
I
honest.
mean, I'm going to wish the opposite. Like this year's spring season and this year's summer season, they've been doing really well in the qualifiers, but they just went out of steam in the top in the round robin stage. I hope for a reverse this time, where they kind of like not doing so well in the qualifiers and then do really well in the round robin and show us their true colors. That's what we are here for.
Would be great.
Would be great to see, and then you just don't need that 100% accounts. Please don't do that, really. If you're capable, then you don't need this advantage at all.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it does no. I mean, it does good to seeding, but it does harm to your reputation. To be honest with you, hello Stein.
I don't think they care about their reputation.
I don't think they care. They don't care about their reputation.
They don't care.
You can see it perfectly in tournament channel of Wargaming, so like they don't care at all.
No, I have to agree.
They're just laughing at everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought we need to do some timestamps after this stream. Yeah, really. Of these, yeah. Okay, so Stinge, because you're here, so maybe you could talk about APA while you're on it.
That's
Okay, so
it's a very direct question.
I will not interrupt you to watch the stream earlier, so I'm going to. Or are you watching on live? But anyway.
No, I was just popping in, just saying I'm gonna be there in just a few minutes, but
Alright.
I can try to answer.
Right. But don't. Yeah.
APA.
But yeah, don't feel pressured because we only streamed 5 times of APA, so we don't really know the exact true colors about APA.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, APA. I have heard they are doing the win rate seeding, but let's not get into that.
No. I mean, whenever we mention APA, that thing pops up for some obvious reasons, of course. But yeah, personally, like you know, top eight battles between APA, S0ULS, and VE1L. But right now, what I'm seeing, because they are now picking up momentum, I think they have the best chance of getting top 8, to be honest. And they haven't been streamed a lot. I think they might have this kind of advantage to kind of like surprise people. But so far, like Count says, they are predictable. So I really hope that's not going to be the case, because they have that kind of not unwanted advantage, but like a very dark advantage, you know what I must say. Because you know. Right, so. Right, any more comments about APA before we move on to the next one? Silence. Okay, I'm going to move on. S0ULS. Okay, S0ULS. Top 10 head-to-head matches win rate even lower than APA, only 34.5%, and most of these wins came from the first previous skill tournament. So after that, they just didn't really win a lot of the top teams. Past finishes, only the first previous skill tournaments, they were able to finish 4th, and maybe they might have capitalized on the advantage of some teams with crashes during the game. But the movement of the leaderboard has been pretty consistent actually. They've been like 8th for like most of the time, only up by to 7th on after the previous 4th previous skill tournaments. And then you have the stream stats. Percentage of cap wins, they actually win a lot by caps, 50%. Average remaining hit points, 3,317. But S0ULS is the only team that uses the IS4 the most, with 34 users, E5 with only 8, and then Vickers 8 as well. So they actually, when you meet S0ULS, expect them to use a lot of IS4s, and that reminds me of Luxnoven in a certain way.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Oh,
they're playing 7 IS4s. Good meta.
Not really 7, like 4.
I'm joking. But
yeah, like, yeah.
No, but I mean, same as E5, but if they play another type of gameplay, so they use more IS4s instead.
I think they're going for old method a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing it relatively well. I mean, it's kind of reliable, but
no. I mean,
like it's not the typical strat you want to see top 4 clan or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and about the team, I don't really know. Some of the guys, like, of course they're good players. They have a play like Wonderkind, for example, and they have other guys in their team that played top 8 as well.
Right. Okay.
But if you look at their old team and this team, like, there are a lot of switches.
Yeah, a lot of switches. I think Crew actually came into my interview some time ago, and he said that some of the players didn't play because of various reasons, so you can go back and watch that Friday Night with Wild podcast, I think the second week, which where I interviewed Crew and he said about S0ULS and so on. So yeah, go and watch that. So Stinch, you want to speak something? I know you want to do. Okay, don't give me static noises, please.
S0ULS. Yeah, I don't know really. I mean, we haven't followed them too much as well.
But... well, is it? Not a lot. We only followed them for 9 times. So I was to follow them, I think on Sunday, I believe. But then because Wargaming messed up with that, I was only able to follow them once. But then IMM0R followed them. I think S0ULS versus LOCA. And yeah, S0ULS, like, at that time play a really unusual strat where they actually rush with IS4s. I mean, what? Like at the start, like not like until the end, like pretty early on, like very weird. I don't know about S0ULS, like that kind of strategy, would that work? but then like they're all right with counter pushes. Like I think it's one of their strengths. To be honest with you, Fuji, what do you think?
I've not seen much of Souls this time round.
Yeah.
And the only game I did catch, Wonderkind unfortunately had a massive ping issue and stuck his E100 in the middle of Fort Despair and got absolutely wrecked.
Yeah.
Souls have always been up and down. They're another clan that suffers from inconsistency from time to time.
True.
And all I can say about them is they're in danger. Vale are nipping at their heels. There's only a couple of 100 cups in it. And I have a little bit of bias from Souls because I streamed them in the spring season, and again they were disappointing in the spring season. And I know they can do better. I know that.
Well,
GaSeO.
they weren't that disappointing. I mean,
yeah.
In the spring season, they ended top 5 actually.
Yeah, they ended
top 6.
They ended fifth.
I mean,
they'd be really
they have a
close.
good. I mean, they are just, in my opinion, they are just risking the games by rushing at the beginning with full IS force.
Yeah.
It could be great in some ways since you can get the enemy team split. Since at the beginning, a lot of teams split up, maybe get some map control and vision.
Yeah.
But although I think it's a little bit meh, like.
I mean, the main problem with rushing with IS-4 is the DPM. I mean, you have the armor advantage, but
they
not
don't have
the
DPM. Yeah.
They don't have DPM, and you also know it's not mobile at all. So what the enemy can do to kind of address this issue is to surround the forces left, right, and center. And the IS-4s, whenever you try to turn, you're going to get shot from somewhere. So that's kind of the problem with IS-4s. Yes, that's not to say for other tanks as well, but IS-4 is more serious just because of the mobility issue and the DPM that's going to. I always remember like we beat Lux Nova with a lot of the IS-4s on their side with 7 bad chats. I still remember that. So yes, IS-4 spamming IS-4s. I think it has become obsolete to a certain point. Yeah, Stinch, hello.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is being.
Right. Do you have any comments about those?
They map control for the enemy team.
Yeah. Oh, Heavalum says we don't have the same players like in Spring Season. Yes, I do notice that as well. Let me try to pronounce that name again. Internet Vashivniaka. Did I nail that? Please say I do. Yeah, IS-4 might be OP, but then if you're doing it with rushes, it's not the best idea at all. Defending, yes, defending. I think IS-4 could make the cut, but rushing.
I like how Effalump is blaming Pagula. I love that.
Oof.
Yeah, it's all Pagula's tactics.
Yes, it's all Pagula's tactics. Yeah. Okay, blame Pigula then. Hashtag blame Pigula and then, well, no, hashtag Pigula out. Oh yeah, you have Pigula and Pachong. They're still playing. I thought Pigula has been playing touch for a long time. I don't know, but Pachong, he said to me.
Pigula is playing touch for a while.
Yeah, it's Pachong. It's a K sound at the end, right? Polish pronunciation. Yeah, wing wing. Tell me if I butchered that pronunciation or not. I mean, Vashivniaka. Please tell me I didn't butcher that. Please. I'm going to say the same for all the APA players. I hope I didn't butcher any of their names because I really.
I butchered
he definitely did. It's
the worst streamer for game names.
Yeah.
I mean, I was calling the Gengar the Ginger for a long time in Souls. Really sorry.
Oh my god, yeah, Gengar, yeah, it should be Gengar. And then you have Muika, which is a name that I always remember because of the song Muidom, which is a really great ballad by Vincent and Jaglinda, I forgot, Kotlinska, I forgot, but it's a really good ballad. That's why I knew that OJ is pronounced as Ui, yeah. So Right. Well, apart from that digression, emulator. I hope that you guys don't do that because I would be heavily disappointed.
That would be just. I mean, and I think an emulator also slows down your game a lot and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if
sometimes.
it's that good.
Yeah, I say Wargaming hasn't found a way to kind of address this issue yet. So we haven't seen bans that might be related to emulator use. Yeah, so I think it's going to be difficult to detect personally, but we'll see. Maybe Wargaming will find a way, but we'll see.
I think there's a lot of discussion about emulators and stuff, but you should really not talk about.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Because I mean, I don't know how it's affecting them honestly, but I mean, of course, as other people, you can feel like other clans competing. It can feel unfair. I mean, but I mean, it's not facts. People don't know if they do it or not.
Yeah, no.
And for not knowing, I think the discussion is a bit too big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot more silent now than it was before, though. Like in spring season, it was on about it on the
APA.
On the official server and tournament section. It was just spamming all days, banning. Wargaming had to ban people and stuff. Yes, mute them, and I think it's just unnecessary. I mean, you can see it in two ways as well. I didn't get affected by it. I didn't play, so maybe I should not speak, but maybe I should.
Yeah.
From my perspective, it was a bit too much, and not necessarily good for the game either.
Bear in mind, using emulators is against game rule 2.1.2, which will give you an account ban. So don't do that, okay? So it's against the rules. Don't do that, okay? So Wargaming doesn't admit that rigging is part of the problem as well. But then they're not doing anything. They're not doing a lot to do something like that.
You'd be surprised. I mean, Wargaming does get a lot of data. So, for example, if you when you open the game and you're in a touch tour, and you may see somebody on a PC.
Yeah.
Well, Wargaming have already noted that that's a dual control PC, a touch PC.
Yeah.
So it's both. And a lot of people said, "Oh, you must be using an emulator because there's a mouse next to his name," and it's not. It's just one of the touch PCs.
Surface Pro.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, I mean, Wargaming have a lot more data than you think.
Yeah, that's pretty scary as well. I mean, what's more scary than 2.1.7 clause? But then Wargaming didn't really abuse that, so don't take my word on that.
Ready to Flex is right. I mean, there's no actual solid evidence that anybody's using emulators.
No, it's hard to detect. That's the main problem with emulators. We haven't seen bans related to that so far. Not that I heard of, but it's very difficult to detect. I presume. Yeah. Trying to hire a PC and twist it. Yeah. Right, does anyone here have any other comments about SOULS before we move on to Veil? Let's move on to Veil. Veil, this is the new look, very minimalistic logo here. I really like that. I think it's one of the logos that look better than I think it's the only logo that looks better than the other. So sorry, Endgame, Legion, and also Immortals. Legion is like 50-50 for me. Endgame is like I definitely like your old logo better, but Immortals also like your old logo better.
Like the bad thing of Immortals, it was that the Phoenix and the letters, like it said Immortals and not Immors. So it was too big for actually being a logo, and we had to change it. But your Phoenix we nearly all the team. We nearly all the team wanted the Phoenix, but we couldn't.
Yeah, but like Phoenix is like your kind of your main, your mascot. Yeah, your mascot for your clan. So I was so bummed that you removed that from your logo.
Yeah, I'm also sad. Yeah.
They're better than the Asia logos though.
KDS is the best.
Yeah, must have been some drunk guy for sure. or it's a clan memeing. I don't know.
No, I was just moving that because I couldn't get in touch with KDS for the logo because they've been very secretive.
Oh, I hope they come up with something more creative at least.
No, I just drew that myself, so it's not their logo. I just drew that myself because I can't get that, obtain the logo.
You should go drawing lessons, or you should not draw at all.
No, just for memes, okay? No, you know, Veil. Oh, I think Ventium made that logo, so that's why it says sexy.
That's why it's named Sexy Logo, is it? So it's a Venti. It's yeah.
I think it's Ventium that created that, so credit to Ventium. Top 10 head-to-head matches win rate Veil 52.9%. That puts them much higher than S0ULS and APA. Past finish, they finished very well in the first one. Finished first, but then they tailed off. Like they have a DNQ in the fourth previous skill tournament. That's because of the seeding, which put them to face the first team of Immortal. Should some of their Phantom teams are not there, Veil could have faced TRA instead. They could have changed a lot, to be honest with you. Moving in the leaderboard, they dropped out of top 8 after the fourth Ascent tournament, the previous skill tournaments, and they haven't gone back into top 8 since.
Well,
stream stats are subject to error, percentage of cap wins. They have a lot of cap wins actually, 38.5%. Average remaining HP 4,549. But we only actually got data for like around 26 to 24 games of Veil. But already they use 80 times the T110 E5 80 times, and then 28 times for Vicky's Light, 21 times for IS4. Right, Veil. That will stoke up a lot of discussion, so let's go into that.
I mean, the bad thing, at least for me, as captain of IMM0R, well, when Veil was top 6, I think, he was risking a lot.
Yeah.
And we found each other in a first day tournament, I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we were facing each other at the second round.
Yeah.
So actually, whoever won that round, the other one was not taking the ticket to the other day.
That's true.
So I mean, we were risking a lot since we were also kinda in a bad situation with caps. We could have dropped to top 8, top 7,
Right.
and if we win them, we will have dropped them to top 9.
Yeah.
So it was at least for me, since I'm very good friends with them. I
Yeah.
played with them spring season.
Yeah.
And we made it to top 6 together. I'm very good friends, and I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Sadly, we had to.
You can't lose the game because you're going to get reported anyway, so you don't want.
No, of course we weren't going to rig it because I'm not fan of rigging.
No.
So we were giving our best because we will always give our best, and they just sadly one of their best players couldn't come that day, but it was very to be honest, I didn't had like the feeling to play that day. I was just kinda depressed because of them, you know.
No,
I like them very much, and I hope they make it back to top 8 since they deserve it. They deserve it 100%.
According to stats, according to stats, they do deserve that. I will be very shocked because they have. Go back to Python Nerd channel. Look at them. Like you have 9th spot, having like 8 number. Okay, not 8. It's if I get the graph, 8 wins, and then they lost like 7. I don't know matchups. Of 6, I forgot. But like, look at that, like that anomaly, and they are in 9th place. Yeah, so if it's for the spring season cups, they are out of contention already. Yeah. So you can't give credit to the cup system once again that they still have some games to catch up. If they went for the spring season cup system, they're out, 100%. Yeah. So Fujit, let me hear you about.
It's no. I mean, I'm a huge Veil fan.
Right.
For numerous reasons. I mean, firstly, I streamed them in the spring season, and they were the underdogs, and they did so well. And they're a bunch of great guys, really laid back, nice chaps.
Right. Yeah. I really like that.
Not only that, but a lot of the team is being long-term supporters of my YouTube channel with the likes of Jory and people like that. And it's been absolutely. I've played with them before they managed to make it into the pros, and it's been absolutely beautiful to watch these guys step up the big circuit, big arena.
Yeah, I think they are like the new guys.
You know, every time Vale play, I wave a flag for them, and I especially wave a flag for Jory because he's a good friend.
No, he's like one of the oldest, one of the subscribers you have for Relon. So like one of the earliest subscribers. I think.
I've tuned with him a lot on stream, and you know, I have a really big soft spot for Vale.
Yeah,
and I really want them there because they deserve to be there. I mean, as GaSeO Jones said, they deserve to be in the top 8, and I totally agree. They do. They're beautiful to watch. They're nice bunch of guys. They've got some great skill, and you know they do deserve to be in the top 8.
That's true.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. And if they're not there, I will be one of the biggest disappointed viewers in Blitz.
Yeah. Any more? I mean, Coward?
Kan du sänka musiken eller? No. I have some fucking problem. I have some problems here. Well, Vale, I'm biased, obviously. I know a lot of these guys. I like them. I meme with them. Yeah, we share sweat, blood, everything. I think they play interesting. I think they're actually quite entertaining. Like entertaining wise, they're not as thin, but they're like sometimes they can just go on power mode and
rush them off.
Just
I mean, I played
obliterate people.
Yeah, obliterate people. I played with Vale for some time as well. I knew how capable they could be with their strats, initial strats especially.
I think Elysium is really good at what he's doing.
Yeah,
I think he's putting a good, and he has experience from before.
Yeah,
and I think he's and to get a play like Bobby, I forgot his current game name, George Jesus. Yeah, I think it was a really good pick, and something that can contribute to the team as well. Because he's an outstanding player in my opinion.
True. The deal for Ryu. Go ahead if you have anything about Vale.
I just wish them luck. I hope they make it.
Right.
I really hope they make it as well.
Right. Stinch.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, I think the issue for them is right now they have been going through a bit of team changes, which can play a part.
Yeah.
I think at least. I mean, I enjoy watching them. They do make nice plays and pushes. Like, I do recognize that they play the E5s a lot because you know they used to play the 113s a lot.
Yeah,
because they love the mobility of the heavy.
I really like that. Yeah, I know that.
They love rotations. It's what I've noticed from them, at least.
Not really. I play under them. They usually don't do a lot of rotations. They usually They do usually rush a lot at the start. Like they usually kind of like surprise the enemies. Like they go very aggressive and then they take some really good spots to gain back control, and then they try to kind of make it out of that. And that's what I usually see from Vale as well. For example, lost control against Vale on Dynasty's Pearl, like how aggressive Vale played at start a bit as well, and then you saw those double mouses barreling in, and like lost control was like they totally lost control in the end. Yeah, let's not mention about 100% accounts. But then as much as we like to see them in the top 8, but I have to kind of point I have to kind of be realistic here. Personally, I think, but I don't want to kind of shame Vale for that, and I think they still have a really good chance in getting to top 8. But I think time is running out, and personally, I think out of SOULS, AP, and Vale, I do think they are the most likely to fall out of top 8. I'm going to say some reasons here. I've watched the game of Legion versus Veil. It doesn't look promising to Veil at all, because they just because I think I said it before with Veil sometime on the stream. What they have, what they're really good at is they have a really good call at Elysium. They have really good initial strats. But that could only put you that far. But problem is, if you don't have that advantage at the start, and if you have a disadvantage at the start, how are you going to work with that? We didn't really see that answer with Legion versus Veil, where Veil I think was under a disadvantage 2 times, and they tried to rotate and try to find a way to kind of tackle the disadvantage. And honestly, I don't think that was like a top 8 worthy of that. I mean,
you're on about the Castilla game.
Castilla game, yes. Yeah.
Well, I felt sorry for Veil there because
I feel sorry for Veil.
Legion were firstly very clinical.
Very clinical, yeah.
And Amunet and I were discussing some of the decisions made from Veil, and we think that maybe there could have been a misunderstanding in the call when the IS Force pushed onto the ACAP.
Right. Maybe she should have ignored the ACAP and captured that at the end. Maybe that could have worked. That would have been the call if I were Elysium. I'm not sure if it's the call from Elysium.
I think it was too late. I think I don't know, because there's nobody from Veil here to say what actually happened there.
Yeah.
But Amunet and I were of the view that maybe the call was to push towards, but not push in.
Yeah.
There's a misunderstanding, and by the time the misunderstanding was understood, it was just too late.
It was just too
late. They couldn't turn it around.
Yeah.
But Veil have been, let's be honest, they've been vitally unlucky. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, vitally unlucky. Yeah, very unlucky.
You mentioned earlier about, they came against them in the group stages. And obviously, one team has to win.
One team has to win. Yeah.
Veil's not going to throw it.
Yeah.
IMM0R are not going to throw it. So. One team has to win. They've been vitally unlucky in SCP. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
And everybody, if they really, really are honest, they will say hand on heart, screw the seeding. They deserve to be there.
Yeah, screw the seeding. I would say
in the top 8.
Stats support that. Stats do support Veil deserves to be top 8. I would totally go on board with that, but I'm just worried that the performance they kind of demonstrate. I'm extremely worried, to be honest.
Oh, they cannot afford at this stage now.
Yeah, they cannot. They cannot
to take that eye off the ball.
Yeah,
they really focus.
Yeah, they've done really, really well to work hard. They work hard. They work very hard. They ask for training a lot of times. I see it personally on the training server. I mean, you can see it with GaSeO and Kawa. You can see them. You can see Veil asking for training from time to time. Like, they are hardworking. You can't discredit them. It's not because they didn't train a lot. I mean, they tried. But Veil, what they need to do immediately, they need to figure out a way. If you don't have the cap advantage, figure out how to rotate. A lot of clans did this. The problems, especially Asia server, because this is kind of a philosophy that the defending team knows already. Because the defending team definitely knows the other team. They don't have a cap lead. They will go for a cap. They will try to decap a base, or they will try to get a base, and that's exactly what the defending team is going for, to shut them down whenever they're going to the cap. So, one way to go around that is to instead take down the tanks first and then go into the cap later. We saw it with a lot of really good clans. So perhaps Veil could try that, and Veil could work hard on that, and that's my advice for them if they really want to. Because under really good clans, you definitely, for a lot of situations, you're going to be under a disadvantage, and you need to know how to work with that. And Veil, I really hope you could do that. You have some really good players at your disposal. Yeah.
And I mean, I think it was Ready for Flex who mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
That they've managed to drag in and recruit some really good players.
Really good players.
So they've managed to steal Bushka J, number one.
Yeah, number one. Yeah.
And they've also managed to steal Vention, number two.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's not like they're not attracting the big name players, because they are.
They are.
And you know, once these guys are in, if they can help wherever they can with all their experience, then they will.
They will. I mean, they need to blend in.
Bushka J was doing well at the start of this tour. I said, in fact, if you remember rightly, that I had high hopes for Elim, but it didn't pan out.
Yeah.
And Vention, with all his experience from coming from Legion and clans like that, he's got a lot of experience that he can bring to the table.
Unicorns.
So let's not write them off just yet.
Not just yet.
It's just that, I mean, Elysium's a great guy. He's got vast experience. Please, Elysium, kick him up the arse. Get there.
Get there, yeah. I mean, I've given you the advice.
Get the job done.
Get the job done, really. Yeah, I mean, seeding is somewhat against them. Kind of weird that they kind of have better win rate now, but then it put them in even worse seeding for the final stage. Group stage, it put them better. They were so unlucky. They finished first in that group on Tuesday, only to have APA finish first by beating two of the top four, two of the big four, and then S0ULS finishing second, which is not enough to put Vale back in the top 8. So you're getting there, and just heed my advice and really work with that, because I totally think that both APA and S0ULS have already done something about that. They're very experienced. Some of them been playing together for a long time. So Vale being the relatively new clan, and especially I don't want to see a second Fulham, which you recruit a lot of really good players and then you just can't gel together. I don't want to see that happening. Personally, I hate to see another Fulham, because I really rate Vale highly, and I really hope you're going to be in the top 8 because of the stats I have at hand are favoring you. Yeah, so just do your best and go for it. Yeah. So any more comments on Vale before we move on to the last one?
Definitely not. Just wish them good luck.
Right, I really wish them good luck though.
Yeah.
Vale, they have a lot of work to do. I think they have to do much more work than AP and S0ULS, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, of course. Like, noticing also the win rate helped that both teams receive, not Bale. So
yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I really hope they are in top 8. But then, good thing is the cup system is much better than the spring season. If it was the spring season system, they're out, 100%.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I would say so. Finally, we have Mercy, or Zara Park's team, which we don't know if Mercy is going to put that team out, because now we have a second team of Mercy, which consists of a lot of players from Lost Control. We have KMS, we have Kami, we have DDS, we also have a lot more. We have Gandalf, M8 from M8s before. So in the end, it probably would not be Zara Park's team that's going to be in the top. It's going to be playing in the top 8. Should they go for the top 8 at the start? That's not to say they need to get into top 8 first. They're in 10th spot. But they had the lowest top 10 head-to-head matches win rate, 20% only. They all exited at the round of 16. They have the best seeding actually up until APA put 100% accounts, and they became the second seeded team. But the weird thing is, because they're the first seeded team, they're going to face either Vale or Win, which they always face in the round of 16. Apart from, I think, in the 4th previous skill, it's S0ULS, which S0ULS bested them 2-1, which I'm very shocked, because S0ULS...
S0ULS is too broken, dude. No one can stop them.
Yeah,
Kappa.
Kappa, no one is... The only time, I mean, finally they got into quarterfinals in the 5th previous skill tournaments. They're moving a leaderboard mostly around 10th place. Stream stats, they only got streamed actually more than APA 7 times. Percentage of cap was 50%, average remaining HP 2183, which is pretty low, because they have like 3 games with 0 damage in the end, and 1 game with 303 damage in the end, hit points left in the end. And then we have the most used tanks. They've used the E5 a lot. Well, actually, to put some context here, they used T62A 2 times. Yeah, this is the only team that I saw them use T62A, and there are also one other team as well, which I forget. Maybe LOCA, I forgot. I have to find out. I forgot which team used T62A as well. Probably LOCA. Probably. Oh, no, Immortals. Immortals used one time. T62A. I think GaSeO knows this, of course.
Yeah, sorry. What?
You use T62A one time when we are streaming.
What? Sorry, what?
You use one time the T62A, the Immortals. You guys use
we used it in one map actually. Yeah. I think, or maybe 2 actually.
Yeah. So actually,
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah. I'm going to begin with Mercy. They have like the best seeding, but they can't really make use of that. ZAR Park. I've streamed them in the kind of the Russian-speaking community tournaments. They are really not that promising, to be honest with you. The only reason why they won that community tournament is because the enemies did a lot more mistakes than they did. So they one time like have like 3k of hit point advantage. You don't have Cappy though. All they need to do is just make a solid rotation, solid push, well coordinated, and they will win. But ZAR Park was able to kind of punish them and won that in the end. Like in the end, they kind of switched the hit point pool deficit to the free side, and I was so shocked that happened, because how could you even throw away that kind of advantage you have for the rotation? You just need to make that rotation and you will win. They didn't. So ZAR Park just held well, but we saw the reason why they won some of the games is because they just rushed immediately. We saw that Castilla with Mercy against Win, they just rushed their side. We saw the same with Vale against Vale, just rushed their side on say, and they won that. So Mercy, what they are now doing is just rush immediately and hope that they're going to win that and catch the enemies off guard. Maybe that's limited to Castilla though, because 4 of the games we streamed, Mercy is on Castilla. Yeah. So what are your prediction? What are your comments on Mercy or ZAR Park?
I didn't saw them play much.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't really know.
Right.
But I guess it's a kind of APA play style. I don't know. Can't say much.
Right. Fujit.
I've only streamed them once, to be honest with you. What can I say? That's not too harsh. High win rates don't make a top 8 team, is what I can say. Because, no, I'm serious. If they get into the top 8,
yeah,
they'll be absolutely punished, and they'll hate every minute of it.
Yeah.
Because they're not ready.
Not ready.
They're not ready. They're not ready to face those teams above them realistically.
No.
You can see that from your head-to-head win rate.
Yeah.
And those are facts, and they don't lie. And I saw them. I wasn't overly impressed. No. I think they've got a lot of work to do. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're a team to keep an eye on for the future.
For the future, yeah.
Just not now.
Not now, and especially okay, yeah. The reason why Vale has a really high head-to-head match win rate is because they won Mercy a lot of times. That's why they have a really high win rate there.
I mean, when I stream them, yeah. they make mistakes against the big teams.
A lot of mistakes. Like I think is it dropping a lot of hit points on their focus fire hasn't been really good.
There's a couple of basic mistakes in there, like hit point sharing is one. They didn't hit point share very nicely. So the focus fire is a lot to be deserved.
Yeah.
Their strats, as I think it was GaSeO James said, they're like another APA, and I can't disagree. I think they are another APA, and they're playing catch up on EU. They are playing catch up.
Don't play with catch up.
They're not there yet. you know, they're bringing strats that are predictable to some of the teams. I
To
think.
some of the teams, but I mean, Castilla that rush onto C, it has been done like 2 to 3 years ago. I remember, if I remember. I mean,
Yeah,
they won.
when I saw that strat, it was impressive. Don't get me wrong, it was impressive.
It was impressive.
It caught, I think it was against Vale, wasn't it?
Yeah, Vale and also win 2 times.
Yeah, it caught them off guard, and yeah, it's going to catch teams off guard because we haven't seen those type of strats for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
Take the game before that,
yeah,
on Castilla,
right.
and Vale had them all over the place.
Yeah.
So you know you've got this scenario whereby I mean, when I watched, because that's one of the ones I streamed.
Right.
So
yeah.
when you've got Vale moving their team into various positions, IS4's overlooking the B cap, TD in this position, going up to the top, and then you've got 7 tanks hurtling straight through the C cap.
Right.
You know, you've got half the team. You know, you're gonna take players out, and they did, and it just caught Vale completely off guard.
That's true.
But in the game before that, which was more of a Castilla normal type game,
yeah,
they couldn't match Vale.
That's true though. The deal for real. Do you have anything to say about Mercy or South Park?
Yeah, just with Mercy, I don't expect them to make any positioning in the top 8, but I think they're playing a little bit of a spoiler to the teams who maybe try to deserve to be there. So that's about all I see from that.
Right, yeah, I can say. Yeah, I think they rush a lot at the start, and that's something that Claw of Clans need to be careful of. But that could only get you that far, because once you do it every time, the clans would know what you're doing, and then they would just kind of counter you. You know, they just like ditch your original strategy, and then they know where you're going to rush. They're just going to position tanks to absorb your rush. Castilla rush. Look at how Endgame dispatched Kraken S. That's how you defend that rush. Yeah, so you got some learning material. Go and watch that. I think it's on every game's second stream. So. Yeah, and also Endgame against Zarpark's rush on Desert Sands. Endgame reacted really well, so something that a lot of clans can learn from Endgame to kind of receive an early rush from the enemy team. But kind of like I was kind of like sabotaging Mercy's chances, but it's all up there. Like it's there. It's not like I got some secret info. It's on YouTube. It's public. Okay, so you've gone all sides just to kind of like hate on me saying how to tackle Mercy strategies. Stinch, what do you think?
Very aggressive pushes, but very expectable. Probably that.
Yeah, true.
Very, I mean, like against Endgame just sending their Vickers aggressive, get the early spots, easy clap.
Oh yeah, I do remember how Endgame just tracked all those E5s, like punished Mercy hard. I'm not going to use that S word because it's that situation. You can use that S word onto Mercy.
That's what I mean. That's why I don't think they're ready for this yet.
No. You don't simply just rush in at the start. Like, look at what happened to Tessios against Legion. It doesn't work all the time. Yeah, these clans like Legion and Endgame are well equipped to anticipate that from happening. Is that Kavaffo saying to me, "Ouchie" for Mercy? Yeah, because I think I kind of burned him pretty hard. sorry Mercy, but yes, something you need to bear in mind of. It's not to say that your strategy is bad, it's just that it's kind of easily counterable quickly after some time when it's getting a bit more predictable, then you know how to do it. Yeah, same with Vineyard's rush down the river, down the bridge. like a lot of clans might be doing it at the start, but then once you know how to deal with it, it's not that hard to kind of stop that, avert that rush. So. Right, so any more comments on I think Racti is now in, is it Tertius or TH1Q? I forgot. But any more comments?
He's not in Tertius,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Any more comments on Zarpark or Messi? Well, I think it's the stress to be on Parks is Zarpark's team. Any more questions? Any more comments? Kerfuffle saying no. Okay, it was Ouchie and Timo being replaced. Wait, did little Timo get replaced? No answer, so I assume it's yes.
Wait, sorry?
Did Timo get replaced?
No, I was joking.
Okay.
No.
Where is Rexy now?
He's in the team and he will be in the team if he's fine with it, of course.
Right. Good, so we're nearing the end of the stream. So now, once again...
Jack, before you do that, I would say you got GaSeO Jones here. Take advantage.
What do you want me to do with GaSeO Jones?
Have a chat with him about his clan, about the clan that he's calling.
I interviewed you early on, like after all your games of Immortals finished. So like, I'm not going to repeat that question. So, but how are you getting on with it?
With what?
Immortals, yeah, and so on. Like, how are you getting on? Like, you guys perform very well after my interview. Like, you guys improved a lot. So.
Well, we got a new player, which is KB actually.
Oh yeah, KB.
Really good. Yeah, really good player. He's very great on lights, and he's my new co-caller. He helps me a lot. I needed that for sure. Like, he's experienced, and I need a co-caller which is experienced. Since if when I'm driving lights, that what I actually do. Right. I can't like focus on all the other tanks, you know.
Yeah,
like it's really difficult since
totally
lights is the most difficult role.
I totally understand. I mean, I've been leading in the medium tank all the time, so I totally understand how it feels.
So I really need him to help me, and he's the perfect man to do.
Yeah, that's.
So we're really happy with that. Well, last tournament I wasn't. Well, we didn't perform our best. We did a lot of big mistakes against Raid, for example. Like, I felt very disappointing after that game. We didn't have the best strats and the best calls going on, but we're looking forward to the next tournament, and I really want to maybe get the top 4 again, the top 1. I mean, hopefully. In the next tournament, maybe win it again. Yeah, and I guess we will go with everything and try our best, of course.
Yeah. But then also to kind of, I mean, if you are secure, then definitely plan ahead as well, because I think the biggest thing comes during the Blitz Cup preliminaries. I've said it on stream a lot of times. I mean, the next 3 match days, the very safe clans will be starting to do some new strategies, might be starting to test their fringe players and so on. I don't know, but we will see.
I mean, for sure, like I think we got the secure spot in the top 8 for sure. And
well, I mean, we still have 3 more, so let's not jinx. Let's not jinx.
Of course. I mean, we will play all 3 tournaments, like giving the best, of course. But yeah, I was really thinking today about that. Like, we need to change strats. We have some outdated ones.
Right.
We really need to work on that, and also start training more. Since we left it behind a lot, the training on non-tournament days. We are not doing that, since I think it's at the moment no need actually, since a lot of our players can't train that much.
Right.
So I will just let them break and chill in non-tournament days. But of course, I expect that they come with everything on tournament day.
Right.
And I hope that in top 8 we give a good fight and a good show. Of course.
That definitely. put my bets on you to put a really good show there. Right, before we end though, let's actually go through one by one your top 8 predictions, because that's like the most important thing. So let's start with Stinch, your top 8 predictions for EU server.
Raid, Legion, LOCA, EG. Then probably IMM0R in there as well.
Yeah.
Wait, let me find all the clans.
I will show my prediction on the stream as well.
I think Vale,
Yeah.
it's gonna be close, but I think they have the potential to still do it
Right. Yeah, yeah.
if something big happens.
Right, yeah.
Souls might be in there,
Yeah.
or they are gonna be in there, I think.
Right.
And then I'm at 7, if I can count correctly.
Yeah, you have already listed 7 clans. The 8th.
And then Win.
Good. I mean, it would be stupid to write them off at this point. Right, so Fudget, your top 8. Final top 8.
I think the first 6 are pretty settled, and all the questions are on Appa, Souls, Vale.
Yeah,
that's it, and it's going to be 2 of those 3. Let's be honest, and I hope it's Vale in one of those spots. And I'd hate to say which clan I'd like to see drop out, because I don't want to see any clan drop out.
But just say the clan you want them to be in.
Oh. Going on the performance so far, I would say, sorry Appa, it's going to be Souls.
Right. Oof. GaSeO Jones.
Well, I have the same point of view as Fujit, actually. I think exactly the same. Nothing to add.
Right. So, okay, so the same as Fujit, like, okay, that's
yeah,
the same as what I'm
definitely.
showing on the screen. Right, so...
yeah.
Right, so we have... Okay, so let's hop over and ask the deal for you, your top 8 predictions, please.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much a consensus here. I think the current standings, if you were to switch APA for Vale, that would be what I would go with.
Yeah, we'll see for Sunday, because I will make another top 8 predictions. This is my top 8 predictions on Sunday, which it is going to be Legion, LOCA, Raid, Endgame, Vale, SO0ULS, WN, and Immortals with more than 100,000 words that I don't want to say it again on the stream. Just look back at my stream, and you know my explanation for the top 8. And the only clan that I might switch out would be Vale in place of APA personally, just because of the reasons I mentioned in the stream. But we will see on Sunday, because Sunday would be the most important one. But we also finish off okay, I think Fuji also said about Asia as well, which you said the top 8 currently, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Asia's top 8.
I think it's settled as well. I think settled as well, unless KDS is going to be removed.
We know there's controversy over that team.
But we're not going to talk about that again.
No. We don't need to. But
we don't need to.
There's controversy over that team, and the top 8 is pretty much settled. If the controversy ends up being a fact, then the next team up will just step up. And I think it's Boone, isn't it? Or is it Calm? Can't remember.
I mean, currently it will be NIC, but we'll see. But
I don't think NIC will.
I don't think so. I think it will be Boone, because
I think it will be Boone.
they've proven that they could be very strong, but they haven't been doing that since the second previous good tournament. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, NIC won't make it. I mean, Boone are overshoot them. Boone are at what? Couple of hundred behind. No, even less than that. It's like 50 points or something.
Yeah. So I mean, Sunday is a really good chance for Boone to get in, because potentially Asia, so we might be seeing 12 team in the running as well again. So Boone, grasp your chance. This is your final chance. If you don't do well this Sunday, goodbye. Definitely.
See, there he is. We're beat. Right.
Oh, Recti is here. There we go. I don't think Immortals would reach 0 points again like they did before. Oh, the 0 points! I don't want to predict the
Spring
0 points.
season. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, spring season. I definitely think Immortals would not finish with 0 points. But with the way they are playing right now, I think it will require a miracle from Immortals. Like GaSeO suddenly got removed because there was a mutiny. There is a mutiny within the clan. And I hope I don't jinx that because I really don't want to see a mutiny.
That's a good one, GaSeO. I think Rex is still watching the spring season.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah. Alright. Hate to say it, but I think it will be.
Well, before you do, don't forget, Jack has got Wild Ones Helper's got the reward stream for Asia on Sunday.
Oh, thank you, Richard. Right. Yes. Asia. Hopefully, remind me to put a stream delay after the stream. Okay. I mean, you guys, please help me to put a delay after the stream, so I don't.
Don't forget. Yeah.
Yeah. And then because I streamed this with low latency and 0 delay, so on YouTube it's 10-second delay here. So besides that, on the new server I'll be following Vale co-commentating with Eminet. So do check on that. Hopefully I'll have some really good collaboration with Eminet. I can't wait. Yes.
A question, Kerfuffles. We don't actually know yet because we only get the stream list for the final rounds, so we won't know probably until after tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, we'll know.
You mean
streaming on Sunday?
Sunday. Oh yeah, on Sunday. But I've told Rexy to put us wargaming, not just Rexy, wargaming, so that you don't spam Rexy to tell him to kind of put us to stream fail.
Yeah, I don't know who we got yet because I've got the reward stream on Sunday, so I don't know who I've got yet.
I think you might get LOCA. I think we'll see, but yeah.
No idea. We don't find out until.
Maybe win because maybe win because you have a soft spot for win, and maybe one of the wargaming staff is watching that, so maybe they'll put you to stream to win. Yeah. Yeah. I think every Namesake is going to stream Endgame. Rip's going to stream Raid potentially. NA, I don't know. I mean, there are lots of commentators changed there. I hope Fishy is going to stream. I'm not sure about Judo's. Definitely not Fujit.
On the list at the moment, it's Fishy, I believe.
Fishy, okay, yeah.
Yes, Fishy's streaming NA at the moment.
Yes.
If he can. If he can't, then I'll step in again.
Maybe other EU streamers, we will see.
Yeah, there could be other streamers.
Yeah, because we can't just like tell you to stream every time. Like one of us needs to kind of step in and kind of burn the midnight oil for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's very early.
Yeah, it's very. Mine is I think it's 2 AM for me. I think it's actually not that bad. I mean, I sleep like at 1, so like it's still like it will disrupt my sleep schedule. But then yeah, no. Yeah, sometimes you have to do that.
But at the moment, it is Fishy. So Fishy's got the stream at the moment.
Yes.
On NA.
That's good. Don't forget to subscribe, obviously.
Yeah, and before you all go, press like.
Press the like button, yeah. And okay, this podcast definitely broke the record. It broke the record of my interview with Angel Eyes or Silver Eyes. So thank you all for supporting this stream. I am absolutely satisfied, Doge. Oh, but before you go, please can you get this kind of number, this kind of audience when I was going to stream EU? Just kind of like hard selling me and just kind of like drawing audience away from Fujit. But anyway, I hope I will get hopefully. Let's transfer this really good record to the tournament streams because they are even more important than a podcast here, I would say. So
absolutely, guys, show him some love. He deserves it.
Thank you. Thank you, Fidget. I am very sorry to steal some of your audience. But no, yeah, do support Fidget as well because he's coming in really well. He's coming on really well. And also, every game second, I've kind of reviewed some of his streams. Like, I've watched some of his streams. He definitely commentated much better than I expected. So show him some love as well. So, thank you all for joining in. I'll see you all on Sunday, and I have a lot of plans in my mind that I might be doing in the future, and maybe if they will all materialize, you will know. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, right, guys. See you all soon. I will end the stream now. Switch this, and bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Let's see if this is going to change.